Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Numbers on the board, yes.
On today's episode, we got to talk about the Celtics selling the team. We're going to talk about some of the biggest surprises of the season, and we're going to power rank teams going into the playoffs. And at the end, Christian is back to talk March Madness as we are in the round of 32. How we feeling today, boys?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, had my Great American Bagel this morning, chilling.
Always get the place smelling some type of way.
I'm sorry. Is it a good smell?
Not all the time.
Sometimes.
Today was regular, but
Today was fine.
Sorry.
you be having this mug. What's that?
You eating salmon at 9 in the morning?
Yeah.
No. I ain't had no salmon. There was cream cheese.
I'm just talking.
Oh, it looked like you had. What it was inside of it?
Oh, it was a chives. It was a chive cream cheese.
Interesting.
Yeah.
At 9 o'clock in the morning. Interesting.
I ain't want the plain one.
But it get you going for the episode, right?
Yeah.
You get the,
You ain't got to get plain. You
if your stomach is full, your
chocolate
brain
chips,
is.
Do
strawberry,
you like everything
blueberry.
bagels?
Yeah, but I usually get the jalapeno cheddar.
I tried an everything bagel once. I took one bite and was just like, nah.
You don't like everything?
It always looked good and it sounded good, but
I like the
it's
seasoning.
not good.
Yeah, I see people using the season with everything.
Yeah, I use the seasoning on eggs. It's usually pretty, I like it. Especially it's different than
I
salt and
never
pepper.
had it. The Great American Bagel and bagel places, like, when I get my bagel, that's my bagel, and I just rock out with that. But I never tried that one. They got like a cinnamon crunch bagel,
Yeah.
French toast bagel.
They got a whole little section.
That's
so
what
I try a lot of them. I try.
I see, because to get to jalapeno again at 9 a.m.
It's honestly not even hot. It just has a nice flavor to it.
But yeah, I got some unplugged type stuff for y'all to start the show. Listen to this. This is actually crazy. All right, this is crazy. So I'm streaming, and I'm doing a bracket stream. I did tee it up, but I did it on a Monday. So I kept telling them this won't be my official bracket because knowing myself, I'm going to go back and forth into the very last minute. So I'm doing this bracket Wednesday night. And Dana yelled like, "Did you see my text, the video of Penny?" And I'm like, no. And I told her like I'm streaming, so of course I didn't really see it. And she was like, look at her how she walking. So I'm like, okay. I'm thinking she probably hurt herself, jumped off the bed or something. So I'm like, Penny, what you do? And Penny is like wobbly and like her paws are spreading. So then I'm like, what the hell? So I pick her up and her eyes was huge as hell. So I was like, hey, we got to go right now. We got to go to the vet right now. This is at night. And for a second, I almost panicked because I never seen, it's kind of like y'all daughters or even your sister. You know your child or somebody you're around. It's a lot. When something is off, even if it ain't an obvious thing, you can tell. So long story short, we rushed to the vet. This is like 10, 11 o'clock at night right now. We rushing. Very strange because I'm holding Penny and she's just kind of like going out, and Dana keep reaching for a heartbeat to make sure she's alive. But I don't know what's going on with her. But I'm just, I said a prayer, and once I said a prayer, I relaxed, and I just kind of kept telling Penny like, "You okay, Mama? We good. We about to be at the vet." Get to the vet. We telling them what happened. First thing these motherfuckers do is they draw me up a bill, an estimate of how much this shit is gonna cost. The girl looked at.
Oh my God.
Could y'all guess how much this shit cost me?
At the emergency vet, it's very expensive.
Yes.
So like $3,000.
No, it wasn't that. You very close, but it wasn't 3,000.
Okay.
It's 1,800.
Okay.
1,800. In this moment, I mean, even right now, I don't
That's
care.
before they know what's going on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
This is to test the shit.
Yeah. Emergency vets tax. They tax
So,
hard.
and she has insurance, but they don't work with your insurance. You got to go after and see what your insurance can cover. I'm knowing my insurance is not going to cover everything because it wouldn't have been that high to begin with. But again, at the moment, it's like, what other option do I have? So boom, pay the $1,800. They go, they taking her. She don't want to be touched by none of them or nothing. It's very scary for her, I can imagine. Mike, they do these tests, and before they even do it, they say in the signs what it could be. So it could be a neurological issue, which would be a serious thing at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing they say, THC.
Uh-oh.
I say it's nowhere in hell because I don't smoke. They don't smoke. And the weed cannot even be in my house. Don't even be in my house. Right? So I'm letting them know, me and Dana, like, you ain't really have to test that because there's no way in hell weed has even ever been in my house. I don't smoke at all, not on occasion, not once per year. No. So they go take her through all the samples anyway. They come back with 2 tests that they ran. The first one, THC was there.
What?
The second one, it says negative, but they're calling her thing was THC poisoning. Penny was high. I spent $1,800 to find out that she was high. I'm in this driver's seat calming my dog down, thinking
when
she's
did that
dying.
occur, though?
She was high as hell, huh?
When did that occur? With like, I'm trying to
So
figure out.
this is what happened. This is the only thing that could have happened. And I didn't think that this was even possible, but Dana was looking it up and it popped up on Reddit. A bunch of people was talking about it. A bunch of people were saying, hey, it's going to sound crazy. This has happened to me multiple times with my dog. I took my dog out. My neighbor smoked weed. My dog went in the yard and picked up a blunt or a joint and ate it without me knowing.
Okay.
So I
wow.
took Penny out like an hour before my stream at night because I always take her out one last time at night. And I was just walking. I took her on the side where I know they smoke. Because every time we walk over there, you can
Hoodlums be
smell
over
it.
there?
But I take over there because it's close to the street. She like to hear the cars and to get her going. And so that's what had to happen.
That's
And
tough,
so then
man.
yesterday, or was it yesterday? Or maybe the day before. Thursday now. I take her back home. They like, go to sleep, wake up, she should be fine. If she acting weird again, anything, then it's a neurological issue. She wake up, she chilling. We laughing because everything's starting to make sense. One thing we knew that was off with her is we was putting our hands by her mouth and she wasn't licking. It's because her ass had cotton mouth.
Yeah.
Come to find out now. So
She
now
was fried.
we all she was fried. We all good. I'm in the living room. We watch the TV and stuff. I'm like, bah, 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 acting like I'm shooting Dana. She jump up and Dana like, look, she on my side. She like licked my hand. I'm like, look, she said, good job. But when she jumped up on me, a flake fell. So I called it. I'm like, what the hell is this? Got all in your hair? And then like probably some weed jokingly. Then I'm like, it smelled like weed. It was a little like flake of weed. I'm like, where did this come from?
Well, that's crazy.
So
I know we supposed to get to our basketball time. I got to say this one more story because it's just on the top of my mind. I just went to the bathroom.
yeah,
I walked in and like
right now,
yeah,
in here.
before we like I walked.
But
back
in the bathroom in the studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a dude in there, and like you could see him. He's taking a dump in the bathroom, but like
You went under to make sure.
you could see like when you walk, you could see if
yeah.
somebody's in the stall, and like usually somebody put like you're putting your pants around your ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Dude had to take his shoes off because like his pants were on the ground.
So that means he was fighting for his life.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
But hey, that's why I go to that bathroom that's far because they do
I was
some
wondering
crazy
why you was
stuff.
going down there.
Oh, you funny,
You gotta
yo.
put me on. You gotta put me
I
on.
started busting up laughing when I walked into because KB had texted us. He said, "Man, I just walked into
Bro.
the bathroom and somebody was drinking out the
The
faucet."
weirdest shit I've ever seen. I go in there to take a piss. It's a dude cupping his hand and drinking the water.
Could I guess his nationality? Could I guess his race?
You could try?
Christian cousin?
Nah. Nah.
Look at Christian looking. What you mean, my cousin?
Bro, that's the
just
funniest
so
stuff be
weird.
going
It was
down
a
in that
brother?
bathroom.
No.
bro.
Oh, okay.
Oh. We also had a THC thing with Jax like
I
6
told
years
Dana,
ago.
I'm like, the only time I've ever heard this.
It
was
happened to
KB
me
dog.
before too.
It
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
With Donut?
Yeah.
we were so pissed that day.
How did he act?
Lethargic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally
And he
just Jax
And
just
then he
slept.
started peeing on himself.
But you already
But
knew
and
it.
peeing on himself is like that's like something that happens. Like they lose control of their bowels.
But you knew that he ate it.
Yeah.
And you knew that he
Same,
ate it. So I didn't
Because
know.
we were looking around like, where's that last blunt at?
Yes.
Where is this last
And
blunt?
none of us noticed that it was disappeared off the table until we got ready to smoke it.
Yeah.
Jack's
and, like-
over there.
And we looked over and Jack's eyes is glossy and big as hell.
Yup.
He can't move, and when he was
Yeah.
moving, he was
He,
wobbly.
he,
Yeah.
he was looking at his food or whatever because he
yeah.
had the
I felt
munchies.
so bad, man.
And Donut tried to like jump on the couch and he
Missed.
it fell. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Penny wasn't even trying to jump. That's when the next day, because we had to sleep in her living room with her, and the next day she woke up and we like went to the bedroom and she jumped on the bed. Said, "Yep, there she go." Well, when she woke up licking on us, we knew she was back too, though.
Well, that's good. It wasn't the neurological thing.
Yeah.
For real.
'Cause that's some scary
But I
stuff.
was just like, bro, what are the odds that this happened to my dog?
Can't take her over there no more.
At all. I don't.
guess those people
I'm
not
super paranoid now. I'm like, no, we ain't
Because that's a
even going over
dog.
here.
You got kids in the neighborhood that could pick that up, and yeah, that's bad.
And she's so little, it don't need much.
Take a no-
We
Yeah,
was
yeah.
reading stuff where
It
like
don't take a lot.
a
don't
couple
at
people
all.
saying they dog found it in the yard. Then one dude who Dana was reading like his little post, I'm like, they gonna take his dog from him. His dog ate an eighth, some
Oh my
opioids.
God.
I'm like, bro, what the hell? Don't let them people know that they're gonna take that dog from you.
Trap
Oh
house.
shit! When they test it, they're gonna find it.
Opiates?
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's
yeah.
very
You just got a
crazy.
whole trap house over there, and the dog just
Having
testing
fun,
it for you.
yes.
Ran off on the plug.
All right, well, we're going to get into some basketball talk, and we'll start off with Drop the Mic.
A new generation of Toyota drivers are here, and they want you to know one thing. You can't stop my drive. Toyota, let's go places. Today's Drop the Mic, presented by Toyota. With teams seeing the effects of the second apron, could older prospects see an increase in value in drafts upcoming?
I would hope so, man, because I feel like every single year we get one or two older guys that just come in and are decent, contributing players. You know, a lot of we do see the rare blossom of the older player, but
Like a Desmond Bain type?
these
Brunson.
guys, a lot of them just translate. They're just ready to hoop. So I would hope so, man, because as I've been watching the tourney, I'm seeing a lot of dudes. It's like, yeah, he's projected to go in the second round. Like, oh, okay, he kind of look nice.
Yeah.
But then you look at it like, oh, he's 24.
Yeah, I think they definitely will have some more value, especially when you talk about the teams that'll be later in the draft, like within that 20 to 30 range, just because those are the teams that are looking to compete, and they don't want to draft somebody that's looking that they're gonna have to develop or that's gonna be a project. So, and instead of going out in free agency and spending more money on the guy, when they could just draft a guy and within that 20s range and be like, he can do exactly what he do. Let's just bring him in, and he's already 24, so he already ready to hoop. So we ain't really got to spend too much time developing him. So that's where I think their value will definitely increase.
I don't think so. Unfortunately, I think the league is young, so the league is gonna always be young. They always gonna want potential. I thought that the Bucks had a couple chances last year to get some guys, and they took A.J. Johnson, the youngest guy.
I think that's one of the first things that came to mind was when the Bucks took A.J. Johnson, because on the
They
other
also
end
took
they took
Chris. What's our boy name? Left hand Smith,
Tyler Smith.
Chris Smith.
But then they traded A.J. Johnson.
Yeah, but they drafted him though.
Yeah, they did.
That was another reason I was thinking maybe they do still draft young, just in case, like, if we are a team that's kind of like money tight or whatever, a young player still is probably going to have that value to other teams.
But
so
they
maybe
didn't
I
draft
use
to
them in
trade him though. I don't know if y'all remember the story. Doc Rivers did not want to include him in the trade.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, no, he didn't want to give him up.
I mean, but you are seeing stuff like
Zach Edey?
Terrence Shannon Jr. Because I think the older guys are always going to be late first round and second round picks. I don't think we're going to be like this 23-year-old.
I never thought it would be like anymore. You see just more in the straight lottery, but like maybe we see increased number of them in like the first round or in the second round.
I don't know why they can't go on the back end of the lottery. If I'm at 14,
well, we saw the Lakers do it.
Yeah,
with Don
Connect.
Yep.
Why can't that happen more? Because
Don Connect and Tristan Da Silva are 17-18, both 4-year players.
Yeah, well, we didn't see them do it because that's after the lottery. But I'm saying in the lottery, like 13, 14. Hami Jaquez the year before. What was he? 17, 16?
In that realm.
Yeah.
1 pick or 2 picks before the Lakers. People are always going to remind you of that.
So it's just like I'm not necessarily against if I have a really solid team and Nick Clifford make sense for me at 14, I'm gonna just take him. You know what I'm saying? Now, but I also understand it too though, because if you have Jeremiah Fears, a freshman guard, and you have a senior wing, I'm probably taking Fears too, because the upside in that is franchise changing with that's why they're always going to take. So I can't blame them. I just agree with Darrick though. 20 to 30, man, you got a chance to really get some good guys who are already ready to play.
Because if you're 20 to 30, you were already a playoff team.
Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe you're closer to the finish line than you can think about. And I do think the financial implications, what you talked about, could change that though. A lot of these teams are hella expensive. So the Suns drafting an Oso Iguodala makes sense because now he's going to be on this. And Ryan Dunn, who was a sophomore or something like that. It makes more sense because those are dudes that, in theory, being older prospects, can play immediately.
Yes.
Instead of having like a Jeremiah Fears who, if he was going to a Suns team, I don't know if he's playing a lot just because he's so young and needs to be developed.
So the Suns are a good example. I was going to rebuild them on 2K, and I was like putting together my little prospect thing. Cam Jones out of Marquette, perfect guy, upperclassman, guard play.
50 straight games at double-digit points.
You'll be able to get him in that range where you should be able to be at.
I watched that game yesterday.
Good game. One of my picks that finally went right, man. Golly. But yeah, interesting conversation. I definitely talked. I can't remember if I talked about it on Teed Up or on YouTube, but I agree with the financial standpoint. That's kind of like a free way to get you a potential player. Whether even if you don't play that first year, because the NBA you still got to learn, no matter how old you are, the pace and the speed. But like the Knicks, I am extremely confident that Tyler Kolek is going to be able to be a player relatively sooner than later at some point.
You know he got a my team card.
Does he?
I was in my team because I'm just looking at players, and yeah, they did. I was like, man, we should have played some of this shit because the cards in there is raw. I ain't gonna lie.
Damn, it ain't
the
too
card
late.
art do look raw.
Because I know my
Was his
MT
card nice?
It was like a 90 overall, but you know it's Tyler Kolek.
I know my when you get the MT for all of the season rewards. That
I got like 250K.
Exactly. Mine should just sitting there. So it ain't never too late, man. It ain't never too late. I might go take a little peek, man.
When Peyton Pritchard was drafted, he wasn't a one-and-done player, right?
Hell no.
So I'm thinking about like what the Celtics have done it recently. Like Baylor Shireman is a 4-year guy. Peyton Pritchard maybe junior, senior. I don't really know. But that's the team that every single year is trying to compete. So we're gonna bring in
Quater,
somebody,
too.
Nemez Quater. Like we're just gonna bring in somebody we think might be able to play.
Hauser.
And Baylor Shireman had 30 the other night, just because everybody else was resting.
Am I put you on?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like the Celtics, I mean, they had 30 anyway. They say we might as well draft somebody who's ready.
That's how you put Mike on the prospects. We did a 2K league, and I put the draft class in, and he took him. Who else you took?
I took that big man out
The 7-2 guy.
Sharp.
was it? It might have been.
And then the other year you took Aaron Bradshaw.
Yeah.
And then he got in trouble in real life. You like, man, what's going on, my guy? There's a guy all of a sudden.
Let's stick with the Celtics because Bill Chisholm, managing partner of some other place, agreed to purchase the Boston Celtics from the Grossbeck family for a valuation of $6.1 billion, the largest sale in sports franchise history or American.
So far.
That is an insane amount of money, man.
This always just reminds me that, like,
I'll be contemplating buying Rolex watches for $10,000. He over here buying $6.
it just reminds me of, like, the
Disposable
NBA
income, $6.1 billion.
At the end of the day, it's just a business still. Like, it still got all the same business theories that, like, I'm going to invest into it, and then at the highest or whatever, I'm probably going to sell it off. And $6.1 billion, I can't say nothing about that.
Y'all think this new owner is going to want to spend this money? Because this team's extremely expensive. Y'all think this new owner is going to want to keep it together?
So people are trying to figure out who this guy is because he's just one of them under the radar, super wealthy people.
Yeah.
And from their account, he is a lifelong Boston Celtics fan.
Okay.
So that gives some people some optimism that he's going to be able to do it. But the reality is keeping this team together is almost impossible after we get to 2 years from now.
Yeah.
So one of the theories is that the Grossbeck family sold for a couple different reasons. Papa Grossbeck is like 90. And he's like saying like, hey, I ain't got a lot of time left, so I'm gonna get my affairs in order so I can make sure my will, yada, yada, yada. But the other thing is they don't want to be the people known for breaking up this great Celtics team. Somebody's got to know how to do it or gonna have to do it. And then people are putting it on the same level, though it's not ownership, of when Bob Myers
That's
decided
exactly
to
what
step
I was
down.
thinking of. Yeah.
Bob Myers stepped down because I don't want to be the one to break up the Splash Brothers. I don't want to kill this dynasty. And someone else came in and did it. And someone else is coming in, Bill Chisholm and company, and eventually they're probably going to have to make some really, really tough decisions. And it's down the line. I mean, from the report that I read, this thing won't become final for a few years now. So, like, who knows if he'll have to make the big decision. But it being the number one most expensive franchise in all of North American sports, it's kind of crazy. Like, what did the Mavericks sell for a few years ago?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I
did.
seen the one
with
that said the
Mark
Suns.
Cuban
What is
sold?
like $2 billion?
The
Something like
Suns
that.
sold
I
for
don't know.
4.
3.5 billion.
Okay.
And you said 4 for
The Suns.
the Suns. And then people thinking like, damn, what that Vegas team gonna sell for there?
I remember when Mark Cuban sold, he did do a nice job to his employees. He gave them all a big, one last big bonus. He gave all the employees a bonus before he left, and I thought that was cool as hell. He also was one of them owners that was paying his employees their normal salaries when COVID happened.
Yep.
And like a lot of the owners wasn't doing that for some reason. So shout out to Mark Cuban. He's always been a great owner.
I got a quote from him later in the episode.
It's tough to know what type of owner a person is going to be. I think
Yeah,
even for the
you gotta
owner
see.
themselves, you know what I mean? They might come in thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to do everything. And then in reality hits, and it's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll see. Even Ishbia came through the door ready, right? And now the reality is hitting, and it's like, oh, yeah, we trading Kevin Durant this up. It's like, yeah, it's not NBA 2K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got decisions to make. And sometimes, like KB said, it might even be impossible, even if you want to do it. You know, because you got to learn the game too.
It's
You're
so
just
crazy.
owning a team.
Yeah.
The owner hires the decision makers because they know everything that's going on and how to, you know, execute the X's and O's of having a team. I could definitely see somebody like, what's my guy that owns the Clippers? My mind going blank.
Steve
Steve
Ballmer.
Ballmer.
Like Steve Ballmer just a fan, but do you think he knows all of the ins and outs of the CBA rules and the bargaining agreement? I don't think so. He probably, because if it was up to him, he would go buy another max contract player. But
Yeah.
I'm sure the people that they hire and put in position, the president, the GM, is the ones telling them, listen, we would love to go we would love to go get another guy, but
History says that it has to be a balance, right? Like if you get a completely hands-off owner, they trade Luka Doncic away.
yeah.
If you get somebody that's too involved, like what Dolan was earlier in his owning, then shit gets ugly real fast. But since then, Dolan has taken a step back. He's allowed, you know, the people in charge to make the right decisions, and boom, the Knicks are a good basketball team.
Well, Nico asked the owner about it,
He just don't know basketball.
and
Not a ball nor.
Yeah, I guess so. But and he said the owner laughed, and then he just kinda just went with it.
Everybody laughed at Nico when he said that goofy shit.
It goes back to what KB saying though, you know, anybody into basketball wouldn't have laughed.
Yeah,
They've been like, you want your job?
yeah,
Yeah, I was
exactly. Yeah.
Are you joking or you don't want your job no more? Let me know.
Yeah, are you trolling?
He was not trolling, indeed. He was he was so very serious. And
But hey, you know,
Anthony
nah,
Davis might come back soon.
yeah, you got Anthony, you got Spencer Dinwiddie.
I still don't understand.
Dropping 30-point games to get
I
you.
still don't understand the AD coming back thing. Like I know he wants to play, but like it's just not even smart to play right now. Y'all, they suck.
think it's
They're not playing for anything.
It's a mental thing, man.
Yeah.
There's
Do
a
you think
lot
he
of
gonna play?
pressure on AD.
I think
don't
he's
think
saying
so.
the shit that he's supposed to
Is
quote
he-
unquote say, but I don't think he's gonna play.
Is it like is he already ineligible for awards?
Yeah.
Or
If he
Oh,
played every single game left, he still won't make it.
Okay.
It's only like what 12 games left.
For them, I'm not doing that, man.
So yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a mental aspect of it. He wants to prove to the Mavericks fans that he's worthy. And unfortunately, even if he does come back and he plays amazingly, it's
Won't mean
it's
nothing.
going to be hard to prove anything.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
it is.
he could just do that next season.
Yeah.
He can start off the season next year healthy. It'll be you, and then whatever y'all doing all season, because you won't have Kyrie.
11 games left for the Mavs.
Which is ultimately what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's again, I think he's saying the right things. It sound good.
It's also a matter of, do they want to be a play-in team this year? Because right now they're sitting at 11th with the same games back as the Suns. The Suns won last night against the Cavs. So it's a matter of, if Anthony Davis plays, they'll probably win a couple more games out of that 11.
Yeah.
But do they want to win? Because they probably want to take a chance at Cooper
Who
Flag.
they play it? Because I don't even know if it's a given that they win with Anthony Davis.
Let's see.
You said who they play?
Yeah.
Well,
Because I mean,
We're at the point of the season where nobody's playing, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to March Madness for holding it down
real.
for basketball.
I'm not gonna lie. I checked what's going on in the NBA, but I'm watching this.
So they got
24/7.
Nets, Knicks, Magic, Bulls, Nets, Hawks, Clippers, Lakers, Raptors, Grizzlies. They can win a few
They
of
can
those
win,
games
yeah.
for sure. But yeah, it's a lot of star players in basketball that's just out.
Let's go through them. You got Ja with his shoulder, Jokic elbow.
I think
Steph
Jalen
pelvic,
Brown's missed a few games recently.
Brunson ankle, LeBron groin.
J Dub,
Yeah,
Yeah, J-Dub's out.
you said Brunson already. Tyrese Halliburton missed a bunch of games recently.
I think the Celtics are just like resting their guys. I don't think.
They're secure at 2.
Yeah.
And they're still winning. So
Yeah, they probably do have these little nagging injuries, but they essentially are probably just resting them and getting them ready for the playoffs.
Fred
which is
VanVleet
smart.
just came back like 2
Had
games
an
ago.
Incredible game.
Amin Thompson
last
just
night.
came back as well. Like, yeah, it's been tough. It's really been tough because I was ready to watch Pelicans versus Wolves again yesterday. Last time they
Wolves.
played, You know, you got to see Zion go full force, take over a fourth quarter, play great defense.
Yeah,
2 days later, he don't play. I'm thinking, it's not a back-to-back.
No Trey Murphy.
No Trey Murphy, and he doesn't even play. But we did get to see Joe Ingles play.
I was super excited for the Lakers-Bucks games, and then they said that
His son was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you laughing at?
KB, he got to see Joe. He played 6 minutes.
I know.
His son was
Hey,
there.
he came off that screen the first possession of the game like he was trying to get some buckets.
Hey, he should.
Apparently, his son has autism and a sensory overload of the arena.
Wow.
He's never been able to be at 2 games.
Okay.
So like last week, he was at his first game ever, and they were like, he's ready to be there.
Yeah.
They said, hey, Joe, go hoop. We playing against the fucking Pelicans without Zion. We'll be all right if you play. And he took, 3 shots,
Yeah.
2 threes in the layup and missed them all. And he's like, fuck this. go put the real hoopers back in. But yeah, it's a cool story. But you said you were ready for Lakers versus Bucks, right?
yeah, and then we found out Luka and Austin Reaves was already out, and we already had a bunch of
let's
players
do a
out.
draft since nobody on the Lakers playing.
For real.
Yeah, it's been definitely tough.
My guys playing and they losing to the Spurs and the Hornets.
Yeah.
So I'm locked in March Madness. I'll be damned if I turn off one of these games to see that bullshit.
I was gonna say something about them, like have a mini rant, but Jalen Brunson is not playing.
Yeah.
And obviously,
They
even
still
without
should win
Jalen
it.
Brunson,
Yeah.
they should beat that Spurs team.
Yeah,
they should beat that
the
Hornets team.
Hornets.
But I still just don't have much to.
I don't either.
Much to say.
I seen somebody. I forget who it was. Somebody I follow. He made a whole look like real. Like, man, the Knicks just lost to blah blah blah. And they not real, and it's like that. That's
Now you say that?
That's the shit about sports.
When the
and
time they lost by
social media.
40 to
I
a
don't
good
know.
team?
I swear I be seeing stuff like that, and I don't even know if people really believe that stuff. I seen somebody say that with like one of the Cavaliers lost one of the games. It's like, yeah, this shit showing what's gonna happen in the playoffs, and I'm like,
That should be
bro, nobody
stupid.
cares
Are the
about the
Cavs
last
not
little
allowed to be
15.
human a little bit? I
Talk
know
to-
they've been
about
damn near perfect this whole season, and now they're going on a little. They went on a little 4-game skid
It's so
And it's-
little to talk about. People just trying to find anything to fucking speak on.
to try to discredit their credibility of what they've proven throughout the end of the whole season, just over a 4-game span, is actually kind of crazy.
I made a whole
It
video
is.
about it last night, Darrick. And what I was saying was, these motherfuckers just came off a 16-game win streak. 16. If you think about their last 20 games, they are 16-4.
Yeah.
Anybody else with that record, we'd be like,
Headache,
Yeah.
right?
And then also they've gone on multiple double-digit
They
win
have.
streaks throughout the season.
And
This isn't the first.
I just went through our history, like the year that the Nuggets won the championship. Around this time, they lost 5 in a row. Same thing with the Warriors. Same thing with the Bucks.
So they bored. They're like,
Boredom,
shit.
legitimately
They
boredom.
watching the tournament like us.
I mean, you could, if you watch it. I watched that game, the Suns game, and then the Clippers game, start to finish. There are some things that may be concerning. The things I mentioned early in the season about the 3-point variance.
Yeah.
Like they have been extremely hot. Or you can't even call it hot. We're 67 games to the season.
Yeah.
So they've been amazing from 3. These last 4 games they haven't, and the opposing team has.
That's everybody
Sometimes
in
it
the league.
happens. Sometimes it
if
happens.
the Celtics ain't making threes in the series, it's gonna be ugly for them.
And Donovan Mitchell ain't been great for the last 7 games, I would say.
Oklahoma City Thunder. Every time somebody had anything that they could pick at, can they consistently? Is Lou Dort gonna be in a series where he shoots 27% from 3, and will that be enough? Can the Knicks make enough shots? That's almost the entire NBA. Will
Just
you be
not
able to make
worried
enough
about it,
shots?
man.
I'm not either.
Kevin Durant hit some ridiculous shots yesterday.
Yeah.
And then the game before that, it was 2 games before that, Kawhi Leonard looked like the prime version of
man.
himself.
Hey.
So it's
Hey,
like,
man.
what are you supposed to do right there?
That shit right there was
The
crazy,
Clippers,
bro.
the Clippers didn't really they didn't flip that switch like him.
That fan
Him and
base-
James Harden.
That fan base get blue balls too much, bro, because when he does that, I can't blame a Clipper fan for going out of their
Yeah.
mind and riding with their team. You know what I'm saying?
That's what-
I can't blame them.
When that shot going, it's like it's an aimbot on it.
I be
It's
seeing
just
people
cash.
all
I
on,
ain't never heard D-Mill say aimbot.
He's a gamer now.
people all on social media talking about, man, the Clippers fans gonna fall for it again. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them.
I don't blame
fall for
him
it
either.
too.
Me too. What the hell?
In the last 5 games, he's averaging 27, 7, and 4. Just hooping. Just straight up hooping. And that includes a few fourth quarter takeovers, too.
Yeah.
He said
So-
aimbot because he's been playing Star-Lord. You know, that's his
Oh,
Star-Lord.
oh. He said he be missing even with the alt though.
Now, that's crazy.
I do misuse it sometimes, but
Damn. Do we have Millsmans of the week?
oh, we do. I wanted to give Jimmy Butler some love this week just because he's keeping them afloat with Steph Curry being out. And I thought that was, especially when they went out and beat the Bucks, he almost had a triple-double in that game. They beat Denver. They beat Toronto last night, where he also put up a triple-double. I feel like his leadership is being felt on the court a lot, especially with the playmaking aspect. He's getting guys involved, and he's staying aggressive. And I think just on the defensive side of the ball, his communication and everything, and also on the offensive side of the ball. One time, there was a play where Santos, for some reason, cut while he was driving, and Jimmy tried to kick it to him in the corner, and he was like, "Stay your ass in the corner." And I was like, that's something that some of those dudes probably don't hear a lot. They probably not used to that. And
You don't think so with number 23?
nah, I mean, probably a little bit, yeah. But
Stay your ass in that corner or you know what's going to happen to you. No, I'm just joking. I feel you, though.
But it made me think of Pierre on 2K. If you cut it the wrong time, that's exactly what he'll say. Stay your ass in the corner. Why are you cutting? I just hear it.
Yeah.
I've heard it too much.
Their
I don't
captain,
say that much more because I might take over the reins of that. We be the one yelling now. My team be winning, so.
Oh, okay.
their captain,
We
Steph
just
Curry.
swept you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, y'all did.
Okay, then. So go ahead, KB. Before he interrupted
we had
you
a dude
for
that
nothing.
had a Tony Snell stat line.
He the point
and
guard.
I-
He's supposed to make sure that dude gets some points.
Hey,
So
I
go
can
ahead
only
before
control
he
what I can
interrupted you with
control.
that bullshit because he got swept. It ain't much for him to say. He
I
got
can only
swept.
control what I can
We
control.
we four-0'd him.
It was 2-0.
But it's a 4-0. So come on, man. You gotta let me.
Nah, 4 straight losses sound way worse than 2.
It does.
Steph Curry's going to be out for a little bit of time. He had a real big fall against the Raptors.
They called it what is it, pectoral contusion?
Contusion.
It's a booty bruise.
As
Booty
long,
bruise,
long
I
as it's
think.
just a contusion.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that blew my mind. I seen him get hurt. I thought the pelvic was right here.
It goes
No.
through.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Right.
okay.
It has to because he fell on his ass.
Yeah, bones are
Yeah.
front and back. Last
Look-
time he had something like this, he missed about 5 games. They're on a
Look at his butt.
6-game road trip right now, starting
And
off
they
in
said he'll
Atlanta.
miss the beginning of the road trip. So hopefully he's back on the last 3 games.
Hopefully, best case scenario, because they've been looking too good for him to be out.
Real
out.
too
Yeah.
good.
But luckily, this is why you make that trade, to go get Jimmy Butler. He is a guy that can keep you afloat when Steph Curry is out. And you seeing it right here. For them to beat that healthy Bucks team without Steph Curry is pretty impressive.
One of my most fun games of the season,
We
man.
got to go back to it.
Go back to what?
You came on here a couple episodes ago, like, man, this buck.
Yeah, no,
this Bucks
I've
schedule.
been very. This stretch has been ugly.
Yeah,
it hasn't
man.
been this. I know
Every
it's
time I see them play, I think about you saying, "Hey, look at this little."
I think about it too, and I'm just like, another loss, and I'm just like, this is
And they're having meetings
yes.
between star
And
players and,
then
Doc.
the Pacers have now.
Oh, what's the meeting? I didn't see none of this.
Dame and Giannis apparently had a meeting with Doc Rivers on.
Last time somebody had a meeting, they got fired.
I think it was pretty much about what's going wrong with the team, how they can fix it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, they
I
both-
don't know all the context and the details of it.
From the way Chris Haynes talked about it, he mentioned that it was a very productive meeting, that it wasn't anything negative. But the number one comment underneath that was like, damn, Dame left that meeting and immediately ran at Chris
Yes.
Haynes to tell him. That's fucked up. But after that game against the Warriors, everybody that had a microphone in front of them for the Bucks said something interesting to me. Damian Lillard said we got to be more controlled and have an idea of what we're doing before possessions. Giannis said he wants to play more free-flowing. Kyle Kuzma was talking about their defensive game plan and how it blew up early in the first quarter. Doc Rivers was saying that we got to be more intentional. Like, some of these are like very political post-game interview answers. But
they all
the
kinda
fact they're all over the map,
they
there's
kind of
like,
contradict each other in a little bit of a way.
yeah, man.
Which is kind of scary.
It's
because
really
this is-
Dame and Giannis's. We want to know what we're doing. I want to play free flowing, which is
They're
kind of like
polar
I don't
opposites.
know. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Which is really scary because we're a few weeks away from the playoffs.
Yeah.
And this is like, I don't know. This is one of them teams that, again, is like, I don't know how big their window is.
It's the window is almost closed.
Yeah, it's pretty
it's like air. You gotta get down and get.
You gotta squint a little bit.
Yeah. You gotta bend down and get a little sniff of the fresh air, but. It's ugly. It's not nice, and honestly, I don't know what the future looks like this summer for this thing. Just because financially they are expensive, and I just don't know
Only getting older.
what the wiggle room is, and like some points decisions are gonna have to be made, and you just I don't know. And
one of
Giannis might have to After I asked for a trade.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, I was
Every
gonna say,
time.
don't
Stop
say that.
doing
Don't
that.
even say that.
Every time the
Don't even
slightest,
say that.
every time there's slight turbulence, you go into somebody having to cancel the whole fucking flight in the middle of the air. Why do you resort? Why do you want to see that shit?
He's already hinted at it a few times.
He has, but his ass signed an extension, so they don't have to do nothing.
And
that they
every
don't
time
wanna
he's
do.
hinted, they've got him something he's asked for.
One of
So-
my surprises, which we'll talk about in the show, this is one of them. I thought the Bucks was going to be a lot better, and I thought the Bucks were also going to be a lot better once I started to see how bad the Sixers was, and we saw the Bucks had a bad start, but then they picked it up. You know what I mean? I don't know. The Bucks being where they are and the Eastern Conference is having a low year because the 76ers are out, because the Knicks did a top of the year trade that set us back another year or so because you got to figure things out and everything. I thought the Bucks was going to have a much better, stronger year, and they haven't. You still have the playoffs where, again, because you have Dame and Giannis, there's still some type of optimism. They did make a move. They traded Middleton. I was surprised that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
That shows that they do want to fix this, so we'll see. But I am definitely surprised that the Bucks are not like this underrated, under the radar team that we just not talking about because of the Cavs, but in reality,
They sometimes to me they
hit or
have their
miss.
moments when like offensively they just seem like they're very hard to stop. Like obviously Giannis, we know what he's doing, but then if Dame's on, that's another thing. But sometimes they have these nights where they really lock in. I feel like from 3-point, where it's Gary Trent,
AJ.
like
Dorian.
everybody's kind of knocking down their threes, and then you have Giannis kind of punishing you in the paint. And that's when I feel like they kind of have their identity there. But other than that, it's not much you can trust outside the top two.
Yeah, and this is defensively. They just don't have that guy. They just don't have a good defensive, like a elite defensive guy. They have a lot of cool defensive guys, and I don't think you can get far with a lot of cool defensive guys. Every team that we see win championships have an elite, all NBA type defender on their team. So
They don't beat good teams, man.
yeah,
They do not beat good teams. Every time they got a good team on the schedule, I feel like they just fold every single time. Every time I load in expecting an amazing game from them, something happens and they end up losing. And if I keep looking at their 12 and 18 against above 500 teams. Some of these wins is like they beat the Lakers who are above 500. The
There
Lakers
was
didn't
no
have
lo-
nobody.
yeah, there was
So like
no-
even some of the wins that they do have against above 500 teams are like the opposing star is out. They're beating bad teams, which is a good thing.
yeah.
But man, when that real competition get in front of them, it's lost to
'Cause you're not
Cleveland,
gonna
lost
have-
to
you're not gonna
Indiana,
have no
lost to
bad
OKC.
teams.
Mm-hmm.
Once
Yeah,
they
since
come
the
playoff
start
time.
of the new year, 2025, they 22-16, they 11th offensively, and they are 13th defensively.
And even at 13th defensively, feel like
It don't feel real.
It does
I
not
just
feel real
don't
at
know.
all.
I don't know what it is. I know the stats say that they're 13th.
is that cleaning the glass? Can't you ask them like, show me the stats against good teams, basically? Because I wonder if we filter out them beating the Hornets by 30.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah,
something.
Your
there.
boy Mike, Amir Khan.
That's
It's
Mike
crazy
said it's
that he
my
got
boy.
that name because there's a boxer named Amir Khan.
Backyard baseball.
Huh?
Backyard baseball has an Amir Khan.
Oh, they do? Okay.
What y'all think they listening to right now?
They be listening. They listen to something drilly because they be listening to
Yeah.
Dirk. They be listening to all that type of shit.
So far this calendar year, like you mentioned, they've played 12 games against teams that are top 10 in point differential. So good teams. They have a 28th ranked offense and a 25th ranked defense.
Oh,
3-7. What's the record?
They are 3-9.
That's why I don't feel real.
How they play 10 but got 12 games?
Did I say 10?
Hey,
Oh, my fault. 12.
Those games must have been so nasty because they like they standings in total with that. Like what do you say, 11th in offense, 13 in defense? How you drop down that much
That
playing
much,
the better
yeah.
the better competition?
They don't have that elite defenders. They have no elite defenders.
Okay,
I mean,
so
they have
then
one elite defender.
They have Giannis. but
Usually
like,
when you don't have elite defenders, you have good offensive players. The offensive players ain't doing shit either.
yeah.
My biggest gripe with them, and it's so minuscule, but Giannis still don't hit anybody on the screen, bro.
No, he don't.
Hey, my
don't
thing was
hit
I feel like
nobody, man.
Dame gets more screens from like Brook Lopez.
Because Brook Lopez hits bodies.
Yeah.
That's really the reason. Like the pick and roll between Dame and Giannis is successful because Giannis is like, you just have to game plan
Yeah.
for him just, I don't know, not hitting, but just dive into the basket. man, the Brook Lopez thing is like, you're going to get stuck on the screen and Dame is just going to hit it. Like in the game against the, what game was I referencing? The Warriors game. It took them 13, 14 seconds to initiate their play, which was a pick and roll from Dame and Giannis. And Giannis didn't hit anybody because Gary Trent Jr. was like this close to Dame. And they just said, fuck it, Dame, do something. Giannis just ran away from the play because he realized they only got 6 seconds to make it happen. And then it was a heavily contested 3 from Damian Lillard. And then they didn't score for 4 straight minutes at the end of the game. 4 straight minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do some inverted pick and roll.
Doesn't
Dame
it-
set the screen.
To be dope.
Yeah.
No, that would be like some 2K stuff right there.
I mean,
yeah.
good teams do it all the time.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray and
LeBron did it a lot.
did it with Austin Reaves.
It
A good amount
sometimes
this year
worries
too.
me though when a team kind of depends on just 2 guys putting up like basically the majority of the points. Like I feel like most of their best games too came from when Dame had 30 plus and Giannis rolling damn near next to 40. Like when they're on there straight up, we just gonna out talent you. I don't know if that's just like the way you can really win.
That's
a
supposed to be the
championship.
recipe though, because if you do that,
Mhm.
by default, it creates so much more for Gary Trent, Torian Prince's, Kyle Kuzma's, and they will be able to contribute. I don't know how else Gary Trent is supposed to score, other than off of them or in transition spot ups. So
Teams are also just leaving Kyle Kuzma wide open. He shot his second most threes of his career in that game against the Warriors. There was a time in the game when Draymond Green did this to him. Yeah, they're not going to trust him in the playoff series game.
Yeah.
That's
His shot.
exactly why I don't like Yusuf Nurkic. He did that to Anthony Davis.
He did. I remember that
And,
exactly.
and I understand it because it's Anthony Davis shooting a 3, but it's Yusuf Nurkic, bro.
Yeah, Yusuf
Relax and know
Nurkic.
who you is.
It'd be crazy seeing players wave off people.
You saw Ahmed Thompson did this to Tyler Hero last night after giving him a bucket.
for real,
Yeah. First came back,
I
he was
saw him
really
interviewed
locked
about
in.
it.
He was really locked in. Since we were just talking about the Dame and Giannis pick and roll, can y'all name the top 10 pick and roll combos in basketball? Minimum 400 pick and roll chances. This is from Owen Phillips at the F5
Brunson,
Substack.
Cat.
Brunson and Cat is not in the top 10.
Damn.
This is points per possession.
LeBron and Anthony Davis.
No.
Luka and
Darius Garland and Jared Allen.
DJ and Jared Allen is number 6 with 1.44 points per possession.
Luka and Gafford.
No. Luka hasn't played enough this season to be on this list.
Oh, okay, bad. Harden and Zubac.
Harden and Zubac is not here.
Damn,
That's
what?
insane.
Draymond and Steph.
No.
Tyler Hero Bam.
No. Stick
What
with
was
stick with the
stat?
Cavs.
What was
Stick
the
with the
name
Cavs.
of What's
Oh,
the category of the stat again?
This is top
Points
10
per
pick and roll
Also,
duos
then
by points per
Donovan
possession.
Mitchell is with Jared Allen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of the Cavs thing is done.
Okay.
They're actually tied with a 1.24 points per possession.
Murray and Jokic.
Murray Jokic is number 1.
Oh, shit.
1.34.
Joel didn't play enough minutes.
The team we just talked about, players we just talked about.
Bucks, Damian Giannis.
Damian Giannis is number 9 at 1.22 points per
Is there a Brook Lopez combo there?
No.
Okay. Anthony Davis and
Nope.
Not Anthony Davis. I'm gonna say Anthony Edwards. And Rudy Gobert.
Yes.
Or the Randall. Okay.
Number 8, 1.22 as well.
Oh, okay. And they said Rudy couldn't score.
Fox and Sabonis.
No. Y'all need 2, 3, 4.
Chris Paul Wemby.
Chris Paul Wemby, number
Oh,
7,
yeah,
1.23.
Caden Duran.
No.
Is Cade on there at all?
No.
Okay.
Trey Young.
No.
Oh, John Jarrett.
No.
John Zagidi?
No Ja.
Tyrese.
No Ja? Okay.
Tyrese and
Siakam.
number 3 on the list, 1.26. He's there again.
Tyrese and Turner?
Tyrese and Turner is 1.22.
Okay.
Sengun.
Pick and roll maestro.
Y'all only got one more. Only one more.
Let's see. Let's think.
West or East?
West. The number 4 team on the list. Oh, you got 2 more. I'm sorry. Because the most surprising one is number 2 at the list. Y'all not going to get number 2. I'm going to get y'all number 2 when we get number 4.
Is it like a bad team?
No. It's a good team. Just 2 players that you didn't expect to be this damn high. Western Conference super team.
Shea.
And
Chet.
no.
J-Dub.
No.
No.
I
Hardenstein.
Yes. 1.26. And then the number 2 team is Jason Tatum and
Derek White.
nope.
Jaylen Brown.
Nope.
Oh, Hauser.
Nope.
It better not
Horford?
be Luke
Nope.
Cornett.
Luke Cornett.
Luke Cornett.
They run up 440 pick and rolls. They have a 1.33 points per possession.
Damn.
Ain't that crazy?
And you said they're
Let
number
them-
2?
They're
Let
number
them
2.
cook.
Damn.
Man.
They're
Let
number
them
2.
cook.
Tatum. Tatum and Cornette being number 2 is actually crazy.
Yeah, he put together an entire article talking about Luke Cornette being one of the more underrated players in basketball. And like a lot of the advanced stats are agreeing with him.
So Jim Boylan was actually cooking. He was just cooking too early.
He was cooking way too early. He wasn't a good enough coach to bring out the Robert Ory and Luke Cornette for sure. Let's get to some of the biggest surprises of the year so far, man. It's again, we're towards the finish line, and we limp in there. Like we mentioned earlier, a lot of teams are either resting or completely tanking, which is one of my surprises. Not that tanking is happening, because tanking has always happened, but the new method in tanking. And maybe I'm not thinking of it correctly, but in my mind, tanking used to go under a couple different categories. It was like our best player is kind of injured, so he's out.
Yeah.
Or number 2 was we're already just a super young team. We're not necessarily resting anybody. We just happen to have the youngest team. It's the Wizards aren't resting anybody. They're just super young and a bad basketball team right now. This new one, it's like we're going to play our starters for 3 quarters, and in the 4th quarter, the motherfuckers is not going to play.
Yeah.
And the number 1 team that's doing this right now is the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors will play Scotty Barnes for 3 quarters, and then he will not touch the floor for the last 8 minutes of a close game.
Yeah. I mean, I also
Can't get investigated.
Yes, you can't get it. That's what I was about to say. You can't get investigated.
There's no
You can't
rules
get
against
fined.
it.
He's not. He's still working on his game. Get to play.
Only thing that's hurting him is like his counter stats are going to be down.
Yeah.
But if he's bought in, which I don't know, because there was like some clips that Raptors fans were sending me of like after Jacoby Walter hit that game winner a few weeks ago, they were all celebrating in the locker room, and then Darko came in and Scotty Barnes gave him one of these because he was mad that he didn't play in the last couple minutes. So I don't know if the players are necessarily invested in whether or not the Raptors get a top pick or not, but it's just a new way, and it can't be enforced right now because there's no rules against what they're doing.
And also, I think the player part of Scotty is like, I want to go out and compete. So like, I feel like
him?
it's nah.
So
But
why are you saying that?
speaking
I'm
of-
literally messing with
Yeah, I
you.
know.
You about to answer me? I'm
it's
just joking.
just a
Yeah, I do
competitive
know.
instinct, and like you want to be in competitive games, like,
Definitely.
and like seeing him hit the game winner, like you probably happy for your guy, but you like, damn, I wish I was in
Look
the
at
game.
that
Like just
sicko.
a little selfishly, but it's just that competitive instinct of wanting to be in the game, and you really don't want to tank as a young player. You actually want to go out and hoop.
Of course,
so
yeah.
I'm not. He probably isn't fully bought into it, but it'll pay off for him in the future.
Like we had the one game with the Jazz versus 76ers where the top 7 rotation from both teams were out.
Yeah.
Because that game mattered so much in the tankathon. And it's like, again, that part is not necessarily new, but people are really going into it because I
know
guess
what I've
Cooper
been
Flag is that
thinking,
good.
too? These games got to be fun as hell for like, say if I'm whatever,
Walter?
like just not like even if I'm an all-star level player, I don't even have to be all-star this year, but I'm playing in these games, and a lot of times like most of the starters are out, and I'm getting my minutes. Like it must feel like a damn summer league sometimes for like these players that are a little bit higher level.
I can see that. I mean, those dudes aren't even. You mean like I'm trying to think of an example.
Like LaMelo going, if he's for some reason playing.
Not even that,
Melo
man. Like
been
you said,
playing
it's
summer
just
league
it's a lot
basketball
of
for
players.
5 years.
It's a lot of players just getting opportunities just because players are out, and
Yeah.
it's also towards this and like teams tanking. It's end of the year, so we want to get our rest. So it's like
So you shouldn't say all-star level players then, because they playing anyway. So yeah, it's like a Jamal Shea getting to play 30 minutes on the Raptors,
yeah, we can
which
even
he
say
was
that.
doing anyway. But yeah, because the opportunity, all-star player getting an opportunity.
Jeb
regardless.
Dowden, he even taking advantage of that opportunity.
Oh, Daquan Jeffries just played. He played
Daquan
against my
Jeffries,
Knicks.
Yep.
So there you
Got
go.
that revenge.
Yes.
They actually gave him an extra $1 million though. He
You-
probably loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No, he
Thank y'all
probably
so
happy
much.
as hell.
Thank y'all so much.
One of my
Wait, and the crazy thing is, all of y'all is doing this, y'all gonna lose the first overall pick to a team that's actively trying to win in the Chicago Bulls. So
The
I'm
Bulls
sorry to
are-
break the news.
They
Bulls are-
already released that. The Bulls got the 7th pick.
Damn. Which is literally impossible. Because they're number 10 in standing. So
no, they're 9.
no, I mean like
Unless it
in
moved again.
tankathon standings.
Oh,
Tankathon
okay.
standings.
I was about to say the fact that we're hosting a playing game is actually crazy.
Shout out to the Miami Heat who just they
They-
not tanking.
they
They're
just
just
suck.
bad.
They want to win, and they can't. They
just
can't
Fletcher,
win.
baby.
Oh man.
They
Your
really-
name Fletcher. How you better know how to shoot.
They really on a 10-game skid.
Is it really a 10 now?
Yeah. It's
No,
a 10.
I didn't realize it got that bad,
Let's
bro.
see. Yes, it's a 10-game skid.
They
10 games.
they were in their game last night against was that the Rock? Yeah, that's
Yes.
the Rockets game. Didn't watch it other than a few clips I
They
saw.
have the longest losing streak in the league.
That's so insane considering like
That
the
there's
Hornets
actually
exist.
teams.
Yeah,
There's actually teams that would love to have your streak right now.
yeah.
Wiggins had 32, right?
Did he end up with 30?
Yeah, I think so.
Shout out to Wiggins, I guess. All right, what's your surprise, Darrick, you're about to get into?
That James Harden is actually still a system. And you're seeing the offense still. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season that James Harden would be an all-star level guy, and
I think me and Mike did tell you that.
and that he would still be the system,
You got to start listening.
I would have looked at you like he was crazy, because like the previous years it hasn't looked like that. And not that he's been bad, but he also hasn't been the system like he was in Houston. And he's doing that. He's giving them about 20+ points a game. He's giving them the double-digit assists, and he's playing at all-star, all-NBA type level. And I just would not have expected that at all coming into the season. Especially, the team is actually good and a good team, and they stayed afloat with him doing this during the whole time that Kawhi was out. And now that Kawhi's back, this team is probably one of the more dangerous teams going into the playoffs if it all clicks at the right time.
I was saying that I just did an episode of Nerd Session. They were asking, like, what potential playoff thing are you looking forward to? And I was like, I would love to see the Clippers face the Thunder in the first round. Because I think that defensively, when you think about Ty Lue and Van Gundy, they're going to throw so many things at Shea. It might be one of his toughest matchups.
Yeah.
They have so many bodies they could throw at him between KD, damn it, Derrick Jones Jr., Kawhi Leonard, who don't really do main ball handler defense no more, but like when he switched on, he still could get in that chair. They just have so many different things they could throw at him. So I'm excited for them to make it.
That's what Tyler do too.
I would take them over
The Mavericks.
the Mavericks for sure, the Suns for sure, the Kings for sure, as far as like who I would want to see in the playoffs.
Hell
series.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
for sure. They're definitely the team that I want to see.
Especially with Kawhi give us the performance he's been.
Yeah, and honestly, if they match up with the Rockets, that could be a series that they can win.
For sure.
So that would be a matchup I would love to see, because then they advance.
That's defense on defense, baby.
Yeah.
When you think about the high upside of a Kawhi Leonard, that might be the determining factor offensively.
True, but then and they also got James Harden.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
like
they had the two best offensive players in that series by a wide margin.
I like the Clippers surprise. This was another year that kind of reminded me about like just the level of James Harden is at. He's one of those players that can fit that category where he could raise the floor of your team. It don't really matter who the hell is up there. He can give you a chance to make the playoffs, right? He could damn near roll him and us out there, and he can make the playoffs with us. And I think that just speaks volume again to how good he is as a player, and again to his whole career. He's been able to do things like this, and I just don't want to see it get lost in history. So it was good to get a good memory of it this year.
That's actually crazy. He's made the playoffs every year of his career.
Yeah.
That's actually insane. You don't even see all-time greats do that.
You always get at least one down year or so.
Yeah.
JJ Redick had it until like his last year of his career. Damn. All-time greats don't do it. Mike, give me one of your surprises.
Another one of my surprises was that Jared McCain, for the 20-ish games that he played, was probably the brightest light in Philly. I think there was a lot of expectations going into the season for Philly. None of them really kind of got there. Joel Embiid was obviously out. Paul George didn't have that season. Tyrese Maxey was him. But, like, Jared McCain literally had people tuning in to watch Philly because he was dropping almost 20 a night once he got into his rhythm. I mean, it took like 1 to 2 games for him to kind of snag Rookie of the Year for like that little like conversation, after they were basically saying that like no rookie has scored over 15 in the X amount of weeks that we've been playing these games or whatever. So I thought that was a huge surprise, not even just for like Jared McCain, but just that like that's probably one of the biggest stories, positive stories out of Philly this year.
Yeah.
I agree. I kept telling people like, however you feel about the draft class, it's gonna be a guy that's like not in the top 10 or something that's gonna pop off, and everybody gonna be like, "Oh, that's my guy," and it was him. So I feel you. It is crazy to think like
That's the most exciting part about
that
Philly's
bigger
season.
off season that they had. It had the biggest off season arguably, and that was their shining moment, and even that dimmed.
Yeah.
Like literally, like
You
said it was 20 games.
I think he said he played 23 games. I'm not sure.
And some of those is like when he
Yeah.
first started, so he wasn't even
Yeah.
getting real PT. We might have got like 12 or 13 real Jared McCain games.
I remember that one
Yeah.
against the Magic for sure. It's engraved in my brain.
He was, bro. I'm excited to see him next season.
Tree trunks for legs, man, this guy.
Jared McCain?
Yeah.
He's strong.
He's strong.
He got a
as shit,
strong
man.
core.
Yeah.
How you know you seen him without a shirt on?
Yeah, I have. This motherfucker on TikTok every day.
Dancing.
Dancing without a shirt on. Yeah, so yeah, we really got from game
That's
8
where
to
you get the
23.
balance from the
Oh, you ain't seen this?
dancing.
Nah.
Oh,
it makes
yeah.
sense now.
Yeah.
I think it's an AT&T commercial.
How funny, how good of friends do you have to be to shoot that? He looked at us like we ops. They ain't trade you, Dante. They didn't trade you.
I'm gonna give another one of mine, and this is definitely more recent. Bro, Deni Avdija has been
Oh, yeah.
hooping,
Yeah.
and I
He's
think
doing
we
a
always
burner.
liked Deni as a basketball player, but I saw him more of a connective offensive piece and a really good defensive player.
Yeah.
Right now, he is rocking out.
Yeah, he's looking
a
like a
guy.
number one option.
Like he
Big
is
guy.
playing, he is pick and roll ball handling. He is scoring off cuts of his, like if he's Franz Wagner, and I think he's got the most and ones in the basketball since the All-Star break. Out of everybody in the league, he's number one on that
He
list.
changes the trajectory of this team significantly.
And they
No,
only
he
gave
got
up
off
what
to a-
Bub Carrington for him.
Yeah. They gave up. He got off to a little
Brogdon,
bit of a slow
Pierre.
start, but the last 2 months or so, he's been like hooping,
Yes. Stat sheet stuffer.
rebounding the hell out of the ball too. He's been rebounding the ball crazy,
He's starting to do that complaining shit though.
like
So-
for calls.
Yeah.
Surprise for me, that's what happens when you start scoring 20 a night.
Yeah, now you want more. You get a little greedy.
The activity of the trade deadline I was really a person that was prepared to not have too much going on because of all the cat. It's so much talk about, man, it's the contract just too big. How can you make the money match? They're a second apron team. All of these different things that was kept being said. And we went out and had an all-time trade deadline with all of these teams who are second apron and doing all of these finesses and figuring out ways to make this small trade to get under by here that allows you to do this trade. And that really surprised me. I'm a big trade deadline guy, and I was super prepared to have moves be made, but nothing crazy and nothing too significant. And to get the Luka trade, the Middleton trade, I know I'm forgetting
The
some.
Levine, De'Aaron
Levine,
Fox trade.
Fox. We got. This is like trade galore, and I was super prepared to only maybe get a
Jimmy Butler
Butler trade because he was literally throwing a fit. So to get all of these trades with even second apron teams being involved was a big shocker to me, and it made me happy because shit, we can still have busting ass trade deadlines. Now, I also see the other side of the coin where next year, if we get 3 trades, we're going to be a little disappointed. We got a little joy.
That's what I was thinking too. Like it can only happen every couple of years, but no, this was like a super good one. And part of the reason I felt like is we had a lot of teams that felt like they could be that team, or whether it would be like the Warriors trying to get Jimmy Butler. They know Steph Curry. They have Steph. They want to use him or utilize him as much as they can for the rest of his career. So we're pressed to make a decision to go out there and get Jimmy Butler. And same thing with like, the Luka trade kind of fell in the hands, but just teams being that the Milwaukee Bucks being on the verge, we're like, we want to compete. We just don't know if we're right there. We need to make a move. So we're going to have to trade one of our guys, Chris Middleton. Stuff like that. I like how it influences the league to make these decisions.
Yeah, we got spoiled over the last 2 years because last year it was Kevin Durant, right?
Yeah.
So we got Kevin Durant, and then if the Luka trade didn't happen, do y'all think the look of the trade deadline is still A+? Because we still do have Jimmy, we still do have De'Aaron Fox.
I think so.
Those
I
are the
think
two
so
big
because
ones.
the Luka trade
That's
was
like one trade, but
it was so out of here that like
True.
it wouldn't even be in our damn mind that like that was a possibility that happening.
Yeah. Yeah, the Luka trade definitely pump it up because then you got the Mark Williams move.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
damn near forgot about that.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
That's a good one. Darrick, go ahead.
One of mine is Malik Beasley. I just think he's done a great job, especially coming off of last year playing with the Bucks, where it wasn't the brightest, it wasn't the prettiest, but I think what he's doing in Detroit and being this guy that's coming off the bench for them and giving them exactly what they need when you talk about elite three-point shooting, and you could definitely tell that he's a lot happier there. He's having fun, and he's enjoying being there. He literally begged them not to trade him at the trade deadline. He's shooting the 3 ball at 42% from the field. That's shooting 9 a game. And I just think
9 a game is OD off the bench, too.
But
and
he
I
How
just-
gonna
many
hit
shots a
about
game
4.
he shoot?
how many
he gonna
shots
hit
a game
about 4.
total? He is
11.
shooting
I hope so. I hope it's 11
It's
or
like
10.
11.
12.
12.
Okay.
He's shooting 12. He's shooting 43% from the field.
Yeah,
So
that's a good one. I had the Pistons just in general
Yeah.
for their
Yeah.
season that they have as a really big surprise. And Malik Beasley is a super big part of that because they're just a legit basketball team.
Yes.
Like they have a kind of like an identity to themselves. They have their guy in Cade. They play defense. They have their role players that know their job. Like they know I have to come in and score, know I have to come in and provide energy. They have the two big men where we can either play Duran or we could play Stewart, and they can give us different things. Like they have what actually a lot of teams really don't have going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Speaking of surprises, though, we got a surprise. Somebody sent us something.
Ooh.
I forgot.
I was wondering what that was doing on the floor.
I thought that was his lunch.
A friend of the show sent this to us.
His lunch.
A guy who has been in the strip
Yeah,
club
that's
with us sent us this.
Oh wow.
We've had a lot of friends in the club with us.
Shout out to Reese, man.
Okay,
Man
shout
to
out to-
Reese.
shout out to
Our
Reese.
good brother. He sent us some shirts.
He made this?
No.
Oh, I thought he made those.
Yeah, I'm not saying he started a new business.
This is
Rey Mysterio.
This must be
Booyaka, booyaka.
He said starting a new business.
Is that Rey Mysterio?
Yes.
Yes. And this
It is.
It's me because it's Jalen Brunson. Hey, shout
Wait,
out
where
to
you
my
get
boy.
these from?
This is from a site, Comfort Colors or something. Or no, maybe
Hey, I
that's who makes the
appreciate you.
shirt.
So he saw it and it was like,
Let me get my guy something.
that's love,
appreciate
Reese. That's
you, Reese,
love,
man.
dog.
Ooh. Ooh.
Is Mike?
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that's.
Oh yeah, this.
Ooh.
Is that
Nah,
D-Rose or
oh,
Scotty?
yeah.
I couldn't
He
tell.
showed
This
out.
is. I've been seeing this one.
Flip it so we can show the cam. What you got, Mike?
I got Luka Doncic in the Laker jersey, so you know it's fresh.
I got D Rose.
Oh, that's D-Rose?
Yes, sir.
That's clean.
He said, "Dang!" when he saw his
Ray
D
Mysterio.
Rose.
What you
Jalen
got?
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
Look, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, remember
This-
He
that
said
one
you're not
you
even a
came
ball fan. We're gonna get you a
Hell
wrestling
yeah. I don't know
shirt.
who his favorite team.
Oh, he's a number two.
They are.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Reese,
Shout out to
man.
Reese,
You ain't hear that
Shout
joke,
out to
KB?
Reese.
I didn't.
He said, "Dang!" when he saw his D Rose.
You crazy.
And then he gave it the Heinrich maneuver.
Another one of my surprises is how hard it's going to be to create your own defensive teams this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many great elite
I
defensive
had saw you put out
It's gonna
the
be
list.
easy for me. I know Dyson Daniels on it.
When I saw you put out that list, I was like, oh,
And I forgot.
this is
people.
harder.
I
This is
forgot
harder than
people.
this.
Like
this
this was. I was just sitting in the parking lot waiting for my wife to go get some flowers out of the stove. Evan Mobley, Darrick White, Isaiah Stewart doesn't classify because he doesn't play enough minutes. But damn it, he would have been here in my opinion. Dyson Dames, Bam Adebayo, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Amin Thompson, Asar Thompson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Jaden McDaniels, Chris Dunn, Zubac, Anthony Davis doesn't count anymore, Tumani Kamara, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, and that was just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And people in the comments like, you forgot about Keon Ellis, who's
Okay.
probably in that same.
He not
You know what I'm
He
saying?
wasn't going to make it.
So
Who else would they
And
say
I
we
love
forgot?
Keon Ellis, but he ain't making
I'm
it.
looking for some more. Oh, people asking if Shade deserves some love. Maybe.
Not with that list. I'm sorry.
Well, Kendrick Perkins thinks
He deserves love, but
Did
those-
Kendrick Perkins say DPOY?
Defensive Player of the Year.
He said DPOY for sure.
Of course.
that's crazy.
Just because he's on the best defensive team in the league,
It just don't work.
it's
like
not really.
that,
Yeah,
man.
that's not how it works.
and he's like,
And
lead.
thankfully, it don't work
He's
like
like
that.
he's the fourth best defender on the team,
yeah,
Thankfully,
really
it don't
good.
work
yeah,
like
he's
that.
good.
but he's the fourth best. defender
Those
on the team.
names that we name, that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they
Are people
do.
saying like Nimhart should be in the conversation? I can't be mad at that. The way he's been defending this season, it feels weird to not have. Oh no, I did have. I didn't have Drew Holiday. I didn't even mention Drew
Yeah.
Holiday. I don't even. He's one of those players that I'm struggling to evaluate for this season as a whole. But like the reputation enough, he deserves to be on his list, I guess. So once we do, OG Anunoby is a name people were like, I forgot
What
about.
about Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown is a name they mentioned, but I feel like
Okay.
you can't have all five of your starters in here. Bron.
Hey,
He's
man.
not gonna make it.
He's not gonna make it. But like the last 6 weeks though,
Some of them guys you name is too easy. Like a lot of guys deserve love, but they're not gonna make it.
I feel pretty
But
good
come on,
about
Draymond, Dyson Daniels, the Thompson twins, Tamont. It's Rudy and them.
this is what comes to mind immediately. Mobley, Daniels, Jaren, Dre, Tumani Kamara are like
That's your first team.
in my mind right now. Based on just what
Wait,
I
did you
didn't,
say
I didn't
Dyson?
officially do this, but this
Is Dyson? Wait,
Yeah,
I
he
said I
said
mentioned
Dyson.
Dyson.
oh, he was okay. I was gonna say he would be first team for me.
Yeah.
I actually would probably put Lou Dort on first team.
I'm not mad at that. You would take Tumani off and put
Yeah,
Lou Dort.
I would probably put Tumani on second.
Lou Dort's gonna make the team for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
When we
he's
get to
better.
those names, that's why it's easily for me to say Keon won't make it, Bron, Shea. No, not to discredit them, but we got heavy hitters. It's heavy hitters. And you didn't name Draymond's.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I got
No, I'm
Draymond.
talking about you named that 5. Draymond wasn't a part of that 5, right?
Did I not mention Dre? I thought I said Mobley,
Dyson, you said?
Dyson, Jaren, Dre, and Tumani. Those are
Okay.
5 I said.
Oh, right. You took him off for.
Yeah, Lou Dort.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bloodbath. I feel like it might be easier to do all NBA this season than all defensive.
Yeah, it might
It's
be because
because
of the
some-
injuries.
Injuries.
and
Anthony
stuff like
Davis won't
that.
qualify. Who would have been there? Luka Doncic obviously won't
Joel won't be
qualify.
there.
Joel Embiid. Like, it's probably going to be easier. And it's also 3 teams versus 2 teams.
Yeah.
Right? So that's also a thing. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody that be talking about defensive basketball, man, we got some real heavy hitters defensively.
Oh, defense is definitely still alive, and you could definitely see guys take pride in that shit.
It's just
I love it.
These offensive cats. Some of them dudes I mentioned, Shade made look goofy as hell. Not that they're bad defenders.
You know what they say, right?
What's that?
Good offense be good defense any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
You see it every day,
Every day, huh?
especially with Shea. I don't even know how Shea do the shit he do. I still be amazed by it.
I'll throw another surprise out there. Pelicans are a bottom 5 team in the league. They were not one of the teams I expected. I thought they would be a middle of the pack. We'll see what they do. Maybe they can even surprise some teams. But it's been honestly one of the worst seasons for them in terms of just like things going right.
Yeah. They're a bit optimistic now because Zion is playing so well. And you're like, oh, we're going to have a top 5 pick this year, and now we'll see what happens. But I didn't know what their ceiling was. I think that when I made my video, I had them as like the 8th seed, 9th seed, even with DeJounte Murray, like before the season started. So for them to be bottom 5, testament to that curse that's going on.
I don't think they had 20 wins, KB.
Damn.
Is they off season pretty much just like, let's just wait and just run it back, draft, and
Yes.
or do y'all think they actually look in them
Sell
active
high
on
on
trade
Z?
market or something?
I have no idea. They could go either way, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I have no idea either. I know what I would do, but I don't know what they gonna do.
They can be unpredictable, man.
Because like you still won't have your full team. Trey Murphy will be out, and DeJounte will be out. So you're gonna be down 2 starters already.
My last surprise is the Houston Rockets as a whole.
Me too.
For this team to
That's
not
crazy.
have like any super high level offensive players to be
Yep.
the 2 seed. Like currently, I think 10-game win streak, 9-game win streak. For them to be this high in the standings, given where they were at the start of the season, like when we were projecting, I think we might have took overs, but we didn't think they was about to be the second best team in the really good Western Conference. So that's a testament to Ime and everybody being locked in defensively. They did go on that little skid when Freddie was out with his injury, and it showed how important he is as an offensive and defensive player. But
lately they are on a streak, and I think they're doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah, they are beating the bad teams, but like they're supposed to do that.
Yep.
Like they literally had a 9 or 10 game stretch where they were playing bad teams, and they went out and took care of business. So I can't get mad at them that they played the Pelicans twice.
yeah,
You're supposed to take care of that.
Yeah, that was my last surprise too. The elevation of the Rockets. We knew that they was gonna get better, but this better is dope. And I can't wait to see the totality of the year for them going into the playoffs and see how it ends up. They could surprise us there because I know a lot of us are looking at these other teams like, they have guys and experience and yada yada. But I don't know if I'm ruling out the Rockets to do anything just yet. Just because again, I didn't even think that they would get this far. So.
Another surprise for me was the Orlando Magic being this bad. I just
the exact opposite.
I
of the Houston
just-
Rockets.
I had high expectations for this team coming in. Obviously, I know they dealt with a lot of injuries at the beginning, but it's still a surprise to me. I just didn't think they would fall off this bad to where they went from being a team that was 4-5, going to 7 games with the Cleveland Cavaliers, looking like they've really come onto the scene, and now they're looking at a team that's sitting at the 8th seed, and they barely got their head above water. Like that's just not something I expected coming into the season.
Yeah, when we did our over-unders, I remember we were talking about how you kind of had to pick between them and the Pacers on like regular season wins because they had the same amount of wins when it came to the over-under. And now a lot of that losing is happening when they were out there star players and everything. But since people have been back, it still hasn't looked good at all. They had the really good win against the Cavs the other night, so that was pretty cool. But other than that,
They really do struggle to crack 100.
It's a hard watch, man.
Having the 30th ranked offense.
Are they 30th?
I'm pretty sure it was at one point. Let me just make sure.
Because
it
if they're
hasn't
30th
changed.
is insane. Again, there are a lot of teams that are trying to be bad. So if they are 30th while trying
They
to
are the
become-
30th ranked offense in the
God
league.
damn, dude.
No, this is my bad. I'm on 3-point percentage. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was a given. We knew they weren't gonna be able to hit no threes.
They're 28th offensively.
Okay, so even
that's
that's
still, yeah.
who's beneath them? Jazz and
Washington.
Oh, I said Rockets.
They're
Hornets.
Charlotte and the Washington Wizards are below them.
Right, Wizards.
Right above them is Brooklyn and
You
Toronto.
bought into their offense, right?
I did because I thought KCP would be a big addition, and KCP.
I remember you talked about that shit all offseason, boy.
He said, Fron getting that
said-
shot back.
He talked about that shit all, and I'm not saying I was the biggest disbeliever, but I just remember vividly every time this shit came in there, you talked about that shit. I know they pissed you off.
Yeah, I thought KCP would have been like the perfect piece in order to
Well,
help.
we definitely all thought that too, for sure. That's all my surprises, man.
Yeah.
I came with 3.
I got one last surprise. It's my little homer pick too. Pick Austin
my
Reaves.
fucking goodness,
We like he's not even doing anything I guess new. It's just he's doing it at a super high level.
He is though.
A lot of the passing that you see Luka and LeBron do, he's doing very similar passes where he's throwing the lobs, throwing the outlet passes. The scoring, I feel like it's taking a little bit of a jump. Like he's creating a little bit more. And I don't know, it just got me kind of thinking what would Dallas look like if they just picked him up 2 in that trade? Because they probably could have got
They
him for
probably
Luka
could have
Doncic.
got him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 2, can a team out there have that we believe theory where they say, if we believe he could do more on our team as a higher person, right? Not behind a third option or whatever, wherever he's at. Like they kind of like seen Tyrese Halliburton. They said, or the Pacers looked at Tyrese and said, we believe he could be our engine or anything like that. Can a team fall for it or maybe even see into the future and think that like, yeah, he's our guy?
Well, they don't have to fall for anything. He's under contract for quite some time.
Yeah,
He's
a look contract
one of
too.
the best bargain deals in all of basketball. He's averaging like 25 since Bron went down with his injury.
So what if he go home and the offseason and be like, I'm doing too much for this pay I'm getting. Let me dial it back some. I'm overworking myself.
Yeah. That usually works in normal jobs.
I ain't got to do all of that.
No, I love what Austin Reaves is doing. There's a lot of conversations about like who's the best, third option. I don't know if he's the best, but he's definitely one of the best fits alongside what y'all have in Luka and Bron. I'll say that much.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely the best fitting, but we got some elite third options out there
Yeah,
that
we
I
do.
would take over.
Like who?
Evan Mobley.
I don't know if Evan
It
Mobley is third
depends.
option. What is y'all? Because this is a conversation I had with Greg. What is y'all definition of third option?
Not Evan
Is it
Mobley.
an offensive thing or is it a collective third best player?
Offense.
Okay.
He's a third option.
Then Evan Mobley is the third option if we're talking
Yeah,
offensively.
because Darius Garland will be the second option.
But I think he's the second best player at minimum.
But you're not taking.
But I think before you go, I think me and my chat was kind of having a conversation too. That again, it could be like the pecking order type thing, but you could be the third option, but not be a legit third option. If you know what I mean.
Give me an example.
I'm
please, because I have no idea what you're saying.
I don't understand.
say,
I guess
This
it would,
is just
have to, be, it
really
would have
just-
to be a stacked team.
yeah, like
Okay, so
Jalen Brown not a third option, but like some
Definitely
people are thinking Jalen Brown could be a
Warriors,
number
the
one
Warriors.
option.
Yeah, the Warriors.
He could be two.
but he can be, but he's not. The number one option is Tatum.
Yes.
Anybody can be any guy on any
This,
day.
I guess this is what I'm trying to say. So you're comparing 2 number 2 options, and you're saying Jason Brown to somebody who's a legit number 2.
Jason Brown, you just made a motherfucker.
Jason Brown said elite, bro.
Okay,
Okay. Take a sec. What do you say again?
give me another 2 option that's not Jalen Brown.
Darius Garland.
Darius Garland.
Looking at both of them, Jalen Brown is just a better player than Darius Garland.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think I'm trying to say is if you have him on another team and Jalen Brown is not with Jason Tatum, he could be the one. So
For sure, yeah, but
automatically
that-
he's
But I
going to be
think that
an
goes to
elite level
KB
2.
said. Anybody can be anything in this league based off the circumstance.
No, I think
Yeah.
y'all thinking too much. We're talking about right here. Fuck a
Yeah.
hypothetical. Who like third options today?
That's what he is right now.
Jalen Brown can be a first option. Sure, that
Yeah.
team probably won't be very good, but he can be the number one guy on a team.
I don't know. They could be a solid team, KB.
They won't be a championship team like him as a
No,
second
no,
option
no.
for sure.
But
But
if
like
the Bulls had it, y'all be all right.
we all right right now, motherfucker. Kobe White player of the week.
So imagine if Kobe White could go
He
to
had
his
4 and 1s in the
go
second
to,
half. the other
Imagine
night.
if he go to his regular shit, which is third option.
He's a March Madness bandit.
True.
Every March, Kobe White averages 30. Anyway,
That's true.
But okay, back to the third option
But did Kobe
conversation.
White make the NCAA tournament, Christian?
Yeah, he played it. Nah, I'm just talking. I have no idea.
I don't know.
He
if
was on the
made-
team that lost to Auburn in the Sweet 16 when Auburn made the final.
Yeah, he went to Sweet 16.
Oh,
That's
okay,
my boy,
okay.
floppy hair. He was doing all this stuff.
Would y'all rather have Austin Reaves or Norman Powell?
Austin
See, that's why I
Reaves.
was talking with Greg. It depends on my team construction.
Yeah.
Do I have another ball handler?
Yeah, that actually really matters.
Because if I don't have another ball handler, give me Austin Reaves because he can be an initiator.
Yeah.
If I have another ball handler, James Harden, Norman Powell fits perfectly with somebody that can
Hey,
initiate.
but
anytime
also
I'm
Austin
assuming I
Reaves-
need something next to that person or I need something, I'm just gonna go with the other person that can just do it.
But Austin Reaves plays with 2 ball handlers as well.
But he also doesn't.
What y'all saying? I'm
I
sorry.
actually
It was
would rather
Norman
have
Powell or Austin
Austin
Reaves.
Reaves.
Austin Reaves.
I think it really is just fit based.
I want Austin Reaves because he can. For me personally, this is my personal what I like. I like what Austin Reaves does more. He does more offensively.
That's
than Norman Powell.
literally it. He just does
Norman
more.
Powell is like a tunnel vision 6-man, get that bucket, which is no problem.
Yeah.
You need that. Austin Reaves. That's why I was saying if Mark Williams went to the Lakers, he was going to be so good because he was going to play with 3 legitimate guys who can make a play. Austin Reaves is not LeBron or Luka, right? But he is definitely super, super good at making a play, whether that's for himself or somebody else. He can play out of pick and roll. He can handle the ball comfortably, initiate your offense. He can go get his in isolation. Like, he can catch and shoot. I love that threat of being able to do everything on the offensive floor. And that's why when you said you take these other third options, I'm like, shit, who? I'm still waiting for some because I'm not
What
taking
about Chet?
I'm taking Evan Mobley, the player, over Austin Reaves, but offensively for third option, I'm probably taking Austin Reaves.
So you taking Chet?
Huh?
Chet or Austin Reaves?
I think it's the same thing as Evan Mobley.
No, I'm taking Chet. Chet is better than
Offensively?
to me.
I can see it.
Desmond
Then
Bain.
who?
Evan Mobley.
Chet and Evan Mobley.
Desmond Bain is also a guy.
I'm taking Desmond Bain over Austin Reaves. Now you naming them shits, but Norman Powell wasn't gonna do it, baby.
Let me see what are some other really good
No
third
disrespect,
options in the league.
no disrespect for Norman Powell.
Yeah, no, nothing up here is being disrespectful. We just
I mean,
trying to
people
think
gonna
of like
say
a really good one.
wherever you, J-Dub, wherever you count on. I mean, we just
No,
mentioned Chet, but
we
people,
put Chet at the third option.
people have been talking
I
about
think
J-Dub
J-Dub
too.
this year. J-Dub has been the second
Yeah.
option for the Thunder.
Porzingis, when he's healthy, I would love to see him in a conversation. Or obviously, he's not healthy.
He had a
all the
really good
time,
game last
so
night against the booty Jazz.
Porzingis is just he's just so damn good when he's healthy again. But yeah, I think it's a fun conversation. When you keep it simplified, you did take us there though, Mike. If you put him, he could be a
I
number
still
one.
don't even really know what you were
Yeah.
trying to
It's
say.
basically saying that like you could be a third option, but just because of the pecking order, and you might be on a different, like a stacked team.
But I think that's anywhere in the NBA you can have that argument.
Hey, guess what?
Is Austin Reaves
Either
the third?
LeBron or Luka right now is a second option
Yeah.
because of
That's the
the way the
entire
team.
NBA.
It can only be one option. It only can be one first
If
option.
Darius
So-
Garland played for the fucking
Yeah.
Pelicans right now, he'd be one of their first options on some nights because there's no Trey Murphy or Zion.
To me, I guess it seems weird when it's like LeBron, the best second or best number 2 option in the league. Like,
But nobody's
duh.
saying that. But in
But
this
yeah,
form of
yeah.
a conversation,
You know what I'm
you're
saying?
making it. But nobody's looking at that as Luka is the best second option.
So you're
People-
trying to have a conversation of what is the ceiling of a specific player.
I think it
Jaylen
can be.
Brown can be the best player on a playoff team. Austin Reaves, if he's the best player on your team, you probably win in 27 games.
I'm not mad at that conversation either.
I think it's just
Evan Mobley
I
is
think
the
it's more
best.
to the
Can be the
levels.
best player on a 45-win team.
But
Hell,
it won't-
he's the best player on almost a 60-win team.
But it won't be in the conversation y'all having because y'all saying third option, which I look at different. If you take third option,
Who's the best 8th option in basketball? That's the conversation that
Jerome.
people want.
That's
Well, no, Ty Jerome is a 7th option because DeAndre Hunter is 6 man, he's 7. But no. Now let's get this understood. Player for player, the best third option is Evan Mobley. Player for player. But player for player, he's not the third option. He's the second best player on the team. Arguably the first, depending on who you ask.
I know you gave me a look like real life. Evan Mobley, I think he's the best player on the Cavs.
So
Y'all
what you
got
look at
Donovan
that say
Mitchell
arguably
messed
the
up.
best player? He
Because I said Evan Mobley can be the best player on a 50-win team. Actually, he's the best player on a 60-win team.
yeah.
Don't
I
say
mean,
yeah after you gave him a look. You
No, it was just funny because I
So
knew
you
it was,
think
I knew it was a
Evan-
little
You think
controversial.
Evan Mobley the best player on the Cavs?
Some nights, sometimes it's Donovan
Do
Mitchell.
you think he's the best player on the Cavs?
Bro, say no. It's Donovan Mitchell.
I think
he's
it's
the
Donovan
best
Mitchell.
player on the
Right, but
Cavs.
so when he say that, you talking about yeah. No, you don't think yeah. You have to agree with every fucking thing he
I
say.
wasn't agreeing with it. I
You
just
didn't disagree.
What
You
does
didn't say
yeah
how you
mean?
felt.
Doesn't yeah mean like?
Yes.
I was just kind of letting him live in his truth.
No, you.
But it's a
What the
podcast.
fuck? Yeah.
I didn't say that for
Any
everybody to
other
be like.
time you don't let a motherfucker live in their truth, why he live in his truth?
You're
I don't
right.
say that thinking that everybody about to agree. I was hoping that we could have a conversation about it.
Talking about some fucking yeah.
Now, sometimes I do think that it gets kind of misunderstood as far as like
What the third option?
90. No, away from that conversation. 95% of the time, the best player on the team is the go-to scorer.
Yeah.
I do believe the Cavs are in that 5% though, where Evan Mobley is the best player on the Cavs without being the best offensive player or
Yeah.
the go-to scoring option. It's rare that it happens, but I
Yeah.
think it's happening right now.
They have that team where they just everybody contribute what they bring, and it's needed.
And it just so happened where Evan Mobley contributes, especially defensively, is number
Overrides
2
everything.
or 3 in the league right now.
Yeah.
And then the offense is continuing to go, like the game against the Kings where he had 31 and 11, and unfortunately didn't touch the ball for 6 straight minutes because it was Donovan Mitchell time in the fourth quarter. You know,
Spider time, baby. I was wearing the shoes yesterday.
shout out to the ones that we got for free, the literal Spider-Man ones, or you got a different pair?
These were the
Because I saw those in
these
the
were
basement
the
yesterday.
gummy ones.
Yeah, I got the hair.
Oh,
I haven't even worn those hair
yeah, I
boots
still
yet.
haven't worn
Me
those
either.
either.
They so damn white. I ain't touched
Did I
Oh,
them.
got-
mine are green.
We getting old, man. We're like
The base of the shoe is green.
you're
The
wearing
whole shoe is
you're
green.
wearing hoop shoes right now.
Yeah.
We were
Anthony
not wearing
Edwards.
hoop shoes when we was younger.
No, we
hoop
weren't.
shoes were hoop shoes.
No, I still don't. But like,
I think
they're better
what
now,
they-
casual
They've
wear.
changed
Yeah.
to where they make them to where they look better.
Like I
casual.
have 2 pair though. I think I might have that exact colorway, and I haven't put them on yet.
Yeah, I didn't realize they was like changing colors in the light. They purple.
The iridescent, is that what it's
Yeah.
called? No, is that what it's called?
It is.
Is- okay.
It is.
Iridescent. Sometimes you see cars like that, and you're like, damn, that's
You can
kinda
make them
cool.
on GTA.
I saw one when I
Yeah,
was in
you can.
California. It was a Tesla Model Y. It was iridescent. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Before all of this stuff, let's do power rankings now. I think we should start at 10 and move up.
Okay.
Are y'all cool with that? Because like I'm
Always
tired of
start at
talking
10.
about.
Yeah, we always started.
that. Okay, cool. Who was the 10th best team? So this is my mindset when I went through it. It was based off playoff trust.
Oh my fucking goodness.
It had to be for me.
So I started my list doing playoff trust. And then I said, nah, they not gonna do playoff trust. It's just a power ranking. So then I re-engineered it to not playoff trust.
Because I just think
I
like
also did that because the Rockets wouldn't have got love. I was doing the playoff shit, and the
Yeah.
Rockets were not.
I didn't go out playoff trust.
that's fine. I'm
I
just
didn't
saying
go
what I
playoff
did.
trust either.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
The
I
Rockets.
kind of just did it based off like the final push of the
Me
season.
too.
Yeah, like what
I was doing it, and the Rockets were not going to be there because I just think that there are some better playoff teams.
They're still in my list.
And I'm like, bro, the Rockets deserve to have some love.
yeah. They gonna
Hey,
get love
I ain't
for
gonna
sure.
lie. It's one team that got some like. It's some we believe shit. It's some,
All right, who's your 10?
my number 10 was the Timberwolves.
Okay.
My number 10 was the Pacers.
My number 10 was the Pacers as well.
I have the Clippers at number 10.
Oh, I
They
didn't have
didn't
the
make my
Clippers.
shit. I'm
They
sorry.
didn't make top 10.
Pacers is
I
like
just
on
think-
my bubble.
I just think the way that they've been playing lately, they've really convinced me, and I think that they probably going to be one of the 10th most dangerous teams going forward.
So you
Again-
are doing playoff
Yeah, I was
trust.
gonna say. So that neglects what you said earlier.
No, it's now, but it's also a little bit of like what I'm expecting them to continue to do.
You
In the
trust
playoffs?
No, just regular season.
what is your rationale? You said who's your 10? I'm sorry.
My 10 was the Timberwolves.
You think the Timberwolves are a better team than the Pacers, or the Pacers later in your?
I do have them over the Pacers.
I got them over the
Just
Pacers,
because
too. Timberwolves are 9 for me.
Just
Okay.
because I feel like I kind of understand what I'm getting out of Anthony Edwards more than I guess Tyrese Halliburton at that point.
What I am judging off of, I love the Timberwolves since 2025 has clicked.
Right.
They're a different team over the last stretch than what they are, removing a record-wise. Once they were able to get Julius Randle figured out, I think they have been,
They
and Mike
changed their
Conley been
upside.
back. Yeah, it's been way better. I don't look at the complete season of the Timberwolves is not there versus what they've been more recently.
Right.
And I'm buying into what they've been more recently.
That's fair.
So I got Pacers 10, Timberwolves at 9.
Sorry, Wolves fans, I don't have you in the top 10, man. But I did make a whole video about you 11 days ago, so go watch that. Who y'all 9s?
That's why I said I feel like I kind of bought into like
Anthony
maybe
Davis
they could do
return
something in the
during
playoffs.
Mavs' upcoming 4-game road trip. There you got it.
I have Milwaukee at 9 with all Giannis basically and a little bit of Dame and belief.
I probably would too. I have the Knicks at 8/Bucks. Knicks, Bucks / at 8. They tied for 8.
Did the Bucks make your 10?
No.
They didn't make my 10 either.
I have the Pacers here.
Okay,
Nine.
and I have the Knicks 9.
Okay.
You said 8 was your
Knicks,
Knicks
Bucks.
/ Bucks.
I
So you
got-
cheated and gave us 11 teams.
Pretty much.
I was gonna say because I got the Bucks at 9, then I
Both
got
of
the
them
Knicks at
dookie
8.
cheeks, but you got to respect what they done, too.
Yeah.
So,
That's kind of how I feel about having the Knicks here too. It's like, yeah, when Jalen Brunson play, they can beat almost
Yeah.
every team on any given night. Damn near, they will beat every single team except for 3
Yeah.
every single night. So it's not that bad.
and then the Bucks, you still have Damian Giannis.
They
So,
still have Damon Giannis.
be a fool if you want to, but it's Damian Giannis.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Who's your 8?
My 8 was the Knicks.
My 8 was Grizz.
8 is Grizz for me as well.
Oh, Grizzly make it.
I didn't have the Grizzlies either.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
they'd be
have
okay.
my 3
I
teams that
was
were
like,
bubble teams were
yeah.
Pistons, Pacers,
be
and
all right.
It's so
Grizzlies.
many Western Conference teams from here on
Yeah.
out for me.
Oh yeah, the West damn near carried the power.
Yeah, same. At 7, I have the Lakers.
7 is where I had the Nuggets.
7 is where I have the Rockets.
I have the Rockets at 7 as well.
I have the Rockets higher.
Shout
Me
out
too.
to the
Still a really good. I just don't.
Rockets.
I'm
I
not
don't know.
going off playoffs, though.
This
That's
is
the
a team
difference.
I couldn't help but think about like the playoffs though when it comes. But I feel like they
If
were
I
high
thought
though
about the
because
playoffs,
they
they
didn't-
probably wouldn't have made it for me.
And they on.
Or they'd been at the
yeah.
very, very bottom.
I think I got a little bit more trust in them playoff wise. Not
we
as high
just
as
sat
this-
up here and said if they play against the Clippers, it could be ugly for them.
It could.
So the Clippers would have made my list over them.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got a little bit more trust in them in the playoffs. Not enough to say that they about to perform like a number 2 seed in the West. But it's like that series, I would think about it, but I might still rock with the Rockets in that series.
I always think
wouldn't be
about
mad at
too.
you.
Against
I
the
might
Clippers?
lean to the Clippers.
I would lean Clippers.
They got
I
so
would
much
lean Clippers.
defensively. Yeah, especially when, again, Kawhi.
Again too.
Playing
and their
can't-
second best player, Zubac.
Clipper Nation is begging me.
But we've already addressed it like 6 times.
But they
I
still won't.
apologized.
He
I didn't,
really gave a
I didn't
full-on
acknowledge
apology.
that Zubac, that he's a really good player.
But the apology isn't enough because you don't realize
they not just
when
gonna
you-
stop till I get my ass beat, huh?
when you
they gonna catch
when you
bro.
go back and watch the clip, you will understand why they reacted.
Yeah,
the way
no.
they did.
Somebody put an edit together, and the edit makes you look real
Crazy,
bad. But it
bro.
also you said it. It's not like nobody mixed up your words.
You did
You
say
said
it, and you
shit.
stood on it.
I
You came up with scenarios out of your own brain where it's like, if I had my own team, you made a fiction team as Mike's team, he still wouldn't start. KB said, bro, you can have anybody. And he still just ain't gonna start.
You said in that at the end of that conversation, you were like, "Who they got next?" It was like, "Oh, they got the Nuggets," and you said, "We'll
Yup.
see."
Yeah,
And he had a
we'll see.
2020 game against the Nuggets.
And you was bogus because even if he didn't do that, it's Jokic. What the
Yeah.
hell? Is the
What
bar
did you
is
expect
Jokic
him
for
to do?
And he still went out and killed.
Every center do good against. Next, number 6.
6. This is where I had the Lakers.
All right.
So I had the Warriors.
So I got the Warriors. We believe, baby.
I got the Warriors at 6.
I got the Warriors at 5. I got them right one spot higher than you.
I got the Nuggets at
I got
5.
Nuggets at 5.
I got
Okay.
Nuggets at 5.
So we
we
had
might
the
be on the
same
same
teams.
path.
Yeah, we had the same teams in the same 3 areas.
No,
So,
you off, motherfucker.
Who's 4?
This is where I have the Rockets.
This is why I got the Rockets.
Okay, there we go.
New Rocket, that's
That's why I had the Los Angeles
I'm
Lakers.
with you with the Lakers love, man. They were my number 4 as well.
And then
the last 4 pick. They was in a Discord, like, what you got?
yeah.
I'm actually was disappointed nobody's in Discord.
Oh,
this-
was they in
over the last couple
Discord?
days.
Was they in
This
each other?
is-
I
I'll be
wasn't
sitting in the
Discord.
Discord. No, nobody be
During the
in it.
games, or you be at midnight.
No.
So here's my thing. Let's clear this up
Wait,
real
let's
quick.
finish the
No,
finish
I
this.
just
We
want
got
to say
3
one
more
thing.
teams.
Okay.
Number 3,
the
Cavaliers.
Boston Celtics.
Cavaliers.
Cavaliers.
Okay.
Oh, you off, D-Mill.
At 3, that's where I had the
That means we
Cavs.
doing something right. This motherfucker that picked the Mavericks last final, so we good. You got who?
The Cavs are at number 2.
The Celtics at number
I
2.
have Boston at number
Celtics
2.
at number 2.
And then Oklahoma
Okay.
City at 1.
Thunder
OKC
is the
is
number
1.
1 team.
Shout out to them for clinching the West.
I do
already.
think we should revisit this and make it with the playoff trust. I wish we was all in line. We should have communicated.
Yeah.
Because I
That
would have
would've been
loved to
better.
see my list basing it off how I was creating it at first.
Because Rockets wouldn't make this for me.
Who
If
do
it
you
was
think
just
you
playoff
take out
trust.
to put in the Rockets
Based on playoff
you mean-
trust?
based on playoff trust?
Put
mean
in
flip
and
it
take
off?
I mean, yeah, that's what I meant.
I would probably put in maybe the Pacers. I think I got to kind of look back
Oh,
because
the
I feel
Pacers
like
not on your shit at all?
no.
I
The
don't
Pacers
blame
are a
you.
really good team.
I don't blame you though,
Yeah, they
because
are
they,
very
as good
good.
as they are, one of the things I was thinking about with the Pacers and why they was 10 for me, because I think they're a better team than 10.
Mm-hmm.
They're whoever they play in the first round could just face some shit in the first round. Like, it's not much upside for them in the Eastern Conference because they're going to get matched up in a crazy way. They might play. It looks like they're going to play the
Bucks.
The Bucks or the
Bucks.
Pistons.
I think the Bucks is going to be tough, man.
But the Pistons. People talking about the Pistons are not going to be easy out.
No,
The Pistons will be a tough series for any of those teams playing them.
For sure.
I still got them teams though. But yeah, they're not going.
Yeah, I'm
They could be
excited to
5
see
games.
how teams guard Kate Cunningham in a playoff series.
Yeah.
Bodies.
The Pacers are 24-11 since the start of 2025. Number 7 offense, number 7 offense, number 11 defense.
Yeah.
They've been taking care of business.
And they have one of the craziest weeks. They have multiple game
Boy,
winners.
Big Niece looking big weak right now.
Yes, they are.
They should have let my team win,
like a
man.
big week.
That's the player of the year right there. He gonna make it to the league. So he gonna get a cup of
What's
coffee.
his name?
Braden Smith. He gonna get a cup of
That's
coffee.
the player of the year right there. That's how whoever didn't know his name. That's the player of the year right there.
He gonna be Jalen Brunson. He gonna be
Shit.
I don't know.
Were they playing that first round that we was talking about? Was it High Point? Purdue.
Yeah.
Purdue, yeah.
Yeah, they
Half point
High-
had that game.
High
man.
Point literally.
Wait, we got don't talk college. We
Oh
gotta wait
yeah,
for
we
Christian
gotta
to
wait
come
for
back.
Christian.
You gotta wait for our
But you were
guru.
about to say something when we were at 3 teams.
Whenever you just say, I'll be sitting in the Discord, just text.
If you really said I'm chilling in the core, I would have joined.
Same.
Okay.
Because I don't be doing nothing.
Because whenever I always look to see if anyone's in there, and then don't be nobody in there.
All you
So then
gotta
I'll
do is put that
join.
text.
We
and then
just growing apart.
I don't
man.
know. I don't jump in there because one of the times I did, I ended up doing a whole video and forgot. So I'll be forgetting. Mike do that sometimes too. He join and he'll be off talking to Elaine in the background. Motherfucker doing all type of washing dishes. So I'm like, I ain't gonna join until I see somebody else. Because if I join and then I leave and Penny's sitting at the thing, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah,
y'all
I be
gonna be like,
muting my
damn,
mic.
this motherfucker.
And I be forgetting that I done muted it. And I be trying to talk while playing Marvels. And I be like, fuck, why didn't
Wait, you saw what he did, right?
And I was like, why my push to talk ain't working?
His gesture, instead of him playing Marvels, he was playing Marvels.
Oh,
He's a mouse
yeah.
and keyboard guy now.
I
I
don't
do
play
remember
mouse.
over the mic one time, he's in the Discord, and all of a sudden on Darrick mic, I hear, she's like, Angie said, why are you wearing my sweater? Angie.
Oh, I think he said Andy.
No, she said, why are you wearing my sweater or something like that? He said, but babe, this is my hoodie or something like that.
I don't
was
remember this
bro,
conversation.
you just gotta be.
That's a long time ago, right?
You vaguely remember that?
Yeah, very, very vaguely.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
It was a long time ago.
You
I don't
just-
remember. I don't know what situation where I would be wearing her sweater.
I think it was your sweater that she took and called her sweater.
Oh.
And he was like,
yeah.
but babe, that's my sweater.
Demi, you finally put out that video.
Oh,
the
the Disney?
World
Yeah.
video.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Did people enjoy it?
Yeah.
I
It
haven't
seems
watched
like
it yet. They're like Bucks did the thumb.
Yeah, Bucks did a thumbnail. He does most of my. He does all my thumbnails when I need something I think need to pop a little bit more than just like me holding something.
That's what he's good at, man.
Yeah.
That's what he's good at.
But the mouse and keyboard thing has been. I don't play competitively
Right.
on mouse and key because I would sell bad.
Hold up, I'm ordering this box of Saratoga water so I can do my face routine.
But you crazy. Like that glue, man. They said that he could have just got better or like more energy and better beneficial like for his health if he just stayed asleep instead of wasting 4 hours doing nothing.
What time do you go to sleep to wake up at 3 a.m.?
You have to be in bed by like before 9.
if I'm really
bro.
living life or if I'm making a TikTok.
Because you would have to probably go to sleep at like 7 or 6, right?
Ridiculous, bro.
And at what point is that even? You just threw away. There's a chunk of the day you just threw away too.
And the world is not open at 3 a.m. You can't be. It's not like you can wake up and get shit
he
done.
just took a look over the city. Inspiration.
He was like, "This mine.
That
This
boy
my
listened
city."
to a podcast at 5 a.m.
No, I think it was like a church
It
sermon.
was church. Yeah, it was
Oh.
definitely church. Read a book for 6 minutes.
Didn't
and put
even
the book
read
away.
it. He slid it on the desk and then slid it off and wrote notes.
Hey, the funniest part is when he dived into the pool, and then when he see him walking out, he's completely dry.
Oh, for real?
had a
I didn't
towel
even
on.
peep.
Because you know what he had to do? He had to go move the tripod,
He had to get
and then in the process of doing
Ain't
it, he
no
dried off.
way he just put in that video, like you said, he put the water in there to wash his face. Like people was asking, like, is this a
How
water
many-
ad?
how
or
many of
something?
it-
It has to be.
This is my
right?
question. How many of those videos have y'all seen? I've been watching for the last 2 weeks on
I've
Instagram.
only seen a few.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
I've
one
never
that-
seen
yeah.
any of them
So
until recently.
that's his. He doing that every video.
Oh.
Where listen, if some people in the comments are like, "Is this a Saratoga sponsor?" Because he'll pour it in there, do his face thing, and drink it. He go on these runs with his little suit on. He got like a little vest and on the sleeves on his legs. His little bodyguard will come up to the back of the
Bodyguard?
G-Wagon.
Who is he?
I don't know, but listen, he'll go to the and they cut the shit. They edit it so cinematic. The bodyguard one time, right? He was going on his jog. They stand there while while he run, and like they clipping it up, and you hear the bodyguard go in the back. It makes it. And he put it behind him, and then he let his little suit things fall. Man, it's so funny. Sometimes he'll cut up a lemon and squeeze it in the water and do it in his face.
Bro,
The lady will bring the bowl. You should see white hands of the
Yeah.
lady bringing the bowl.
that's so extra, man.
It's so hilarious, bro. I love them.
We got to
shits.
do a parody of that.
Do the Drew Walls
Somebody
parody.
did one.
Oh,
Where they
did
put
they?
like some cheap ass water in there. We do got to do that though.
I couldn't imagine that type of lifestyle. It don't even sound fun.
I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna put my face in some fucking Kool-Aid.
That's that grind set, man.
Do you see how how hard he was running on that treadmill?
Yeah.
No,
He
you got to
was-
see when
he
he's
was
running outside.
sprinting, bro.
Yeah.
You got to see when he's
when
running
he's
outside.
running with the cars.
Yeah,
I seen
you
that.
seen
saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that
yeah.
one.
I
Yeah.
didn't see that. I just seen him running on that treadmill. That's
He
just
got
like,
one
bro,
with the fucking cars behind him, like
Yes.
he's Floyd Mayweather.
Yes. Like he's Rocky Balboa.
like
It's
he's like,
and it's not. It's a G-Wagon.
Adonis
G-Wagon.
Creed
Yeah.
training.
Yes, literally,
Just
literally.
like that. And then they cut to him without the like mute or like you can hear him like he's
Yes.
breathing while he's running.
It's also when we in a meeting, they show like a little clip. And they're like, man, we got to get that
Look-
deal done. That 10,000 got to get through.
Bro, yeah.
Hey, Hey, I'm gonna start doing this shit, man. I can make my shit look real good, man. I'm gonna start making my shit. I ain't running with no G-Wagon behind
He
me.
just got the perfect lifestyle.
Hey.
Can't do no wrong.
There's somebody in our life. Who do you think will fall for that?
I'm not saying it on here.
But you know what I'm thinking, right?
I'm not saying it on here. I'm not saying it on here. I'm not saying it on here, man.
Hey man, this dude really got it figured out. And start to do the same
The
shit.
same content, yeah. My boy was doing ice baths, so he would definitely start doing a Saratoga face wash. I could definitely see, and he cut his shit cinematic too. And,
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, yeah.
Y'all crazy, bro.
Y'all look
We
crazy.
ain't saying nothing.
I'm saying, I speak the truth, and what I say, I'll say it anybody's face. That's my dog. I know
Yeah.
him. So shit. If I know you, I'm gonna speak the truth. Just like I know when we did that video up in there. Look at this motherfucker. Turn on the cameras and shit. Hey, stop
You getting
touching
the, wait,
shit.
you getting the camera? All right. All right, get that figured out. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
We will do our college basketball talk in a minute when Christian gets ready. You were saying we were
Have
doing
y'all
that video in there?
ever had Saratoga water?
We did, yes, one of the best waters ever.
No. I didn't even know it
Nope.
existed. till
I
yesterday.
didn't know about it either.
That's what caught my eye when I first seen it. I love Saratoga
I
water.
drink Pure Life.
Nestle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
with the blue
drink
thing.
Kirkland. So
Is it Nestle or Nestle?
We get those 5 gallons and we put them into the thing. That's where I get my water.
Oh, I do the bottles.
I ain't done that
Bro,
in years.
My mom called me yesterday or 2 days ago. That's when you were at my house. When you
Yeah.
left, I was on the phone with my mom. She's like, yeah, I just came back from the hospital. I'm like, you good? Like, that's not something. You just open a conversation that way.
Why do parents do shit like
And
this?
she's like, yeah, she had been like sick for the last couple of days, like a cold.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
had tested negative for COVID and flu. So it's just a cold. And she said, yeah, they ran all these tests on me. They couldn't find my vein. I'm like, what that mean?
she was
said-
dehydrated.
I ain't had water in 4 days.
Oh my god.
I'm
She
like,
said,
Mom,
wait, say that again, sir.
they couldn't find her vein to like draw her blood. And I'm like, why? She's like, I ain't had water in 4 days.
Too
I'm
damn
like,
old.
Mom, you
Did you say some
53.
shit like this before?
Yes, you
You told us this
53
story
now, Mom.
before.
Come on, lock the fuck in. It's water. And she's like, she one of the people that say, I hate the taste of water. I'm
What?
like, then go get the Neopak, whatever the hell them things are called. It still counts as water intake.
That's what John say.
She gonna ask the doctor. The doctor tell her she dehydrated. You need to drink some water. She say, isn't orange juice like 60% water? No, Ma. Water,
Too damn
H2O
old.
by itself.
Too damn
Drink
old.
it. And then I show you the text. I will show you the text to show I
hate
am
that
not.
argument
I'm
because
not
water
joking.
is good when you ain't had it. When you
Yeah.
dehydrate or you work out and you go get that water, that shit
My
is
mom
be
has
better.
she has a Stanley, but it's the one that's just like this. It's a very small Stanley. She texted me yesterday.
Let me
Hey,
find out.
son, I drank 2 waters in my small Stanley cup, and I said, that's a good start, but you need more. And she said, okay, I guess. Here, show you the text.
Maybe she's starting.
Okay,
man.
I
Maybe she's
guess.
getting
Okay,
some-
I guess. But this is not like,
Ain't no Shalishi starting.
it's not the first time we've done this.
Yeah,
Will.
I remember this conversation on a different subject. Y'all ever seen that podcast of the dude that had his chug? And dude's like, what you drinking, water or coffee? And he was like, Kool-Aid. Y'all seen that before? He was like, bro, ain't no way in hell you drinking fucking Kool-Aid.
Was he
That
drinking
nigga-
Kool-Aid?
Yes, he was drinking fucking Kool-Aid.
I ain't made Kool-Aid in so long. I bought some Kool-Aid packets. Like, they just in my house, but
Oh shit.
I ain't finna make it.
I only drink Kool-Aid really at soul food restaurants.
Me too.
I don't really make it.
Yeah, I don't need it. It's too much sugar. I want to, though, but it's too much sugar, man.
Yeah,
I already got a sweet tooth. I got to drink water because
that's why I try to always make sure I stay hydrated. Just don't. I hate getting dehydrated. You just feel like shit.
I don't know if I've ever been dehydrated.
Well, that's because all you drink is
I
water.
don't drink anything but water.
Yeah,
And it's like 3 of these a day. This is the 40 ounce.
yeah. Mine's usually happen like if I'm sweating a lot. If I'm in a situation where I sweat a lot.
No, I
And
probably
like
have
I-
been dehydrated
and I
on like
might
a travel
forget.
day.
Yeah.
Travel days are pretty bad for water because you in the air and you're not thinking about drinking. Chris, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk some hoops. College hoops specifically, man. First round's completely wrapped up. It wasn't a lot of madness, though. Not a lot of madness. How'd you feel about that?
First time since 2017, one of the top 4 seeds didn't go down. We spend Sunday through Thursday trying to find that upset, and sometimes they're just.
how your bracket look, man?
Looks fine. I mean, everything's intact. If you didn't have, a Clemson or a Memphis or a Mizzou going deep,
I had Memphis going deep.
I had Clemson going deep.
stand up. It's all good.
I didn't have any of those.
Well, I'm saying, what went wrong, though? I know how the bracket work, but how do your bracket look?
Oh, I
That
mean,
dry ass answer
it
you
looks
gave me.
it looks good, but I feel like everyone's looks good, so I don't want to like flex that.
Like what? Are you at 100%?
I'm trying to get.
Oh, no.
Hey, we podcasting. What upsets did you have didn't go right?
Troy.
Okay.
Good fight. I liked what I saw.
You put together a social clip for Troy, so I was like, oh, he really believes
I liked
it.
what I saw, man. They were running some great stuff, but their point guard was a player of the year in their conference. Like when he's great in the lane. He was like 19th in the country in assist rate and can really finish around the rim. But with 6'11" Amari Williams in the paint, like he just was scared.
You had Marquette winning, right, and going on a run.
I have Marquette in my Sweet 16. But
Ah.
that was my one Sweet 16 team that's out. New Mexico was a better team. New Mexico was definitely the better team. Shout out Donovan Dent.
We were talking about it before of like, because I listened to a podcast on the way here, so the stuff that I'm about to say is not me saying it. But they were talking about how Shaka is so traditional that he doesn't use the transfer portal at all, that maybe this is like an eye-opener for him.
Yeah,
that
he
you
not
kinda
gonna have a
need to.
choice. He
Yeah.
not gonna have a choice. Cam Jones is go. I can see why he did in the last couple of years because he had Cam Jones, Gold. Hey, I thought about. I don't know why I didn't text you. Joplin was keeping them alive. Yo,
Hey,
boy.
He had
He
one
was a
shot that was.
hooper.
That's the best game I ever seen him play.
He
was
did
a
not
hoop- he
like
was
Joplin
hooping.
at all.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I meant to text you. I don't know why I didn't text you. I meant to text you.
He was
Joplin.
hooping. But here's the thing with Marquette. Like, we're talking about the portal. Who's the best player they've had in the last few years? Tyler Kolek from the portal. So
Yeah.
it's like you don't have to drop everything you believe in as a coach and change the culture of your program to bring in a guy or two. And this is why I said this to you guys before the show. The best program in college basketball the last 5 years, in my opinion, is without a doubt Houston. You have to switch to the Big 12. You win the Big 12 back-to-back years. You are building a program, player development, and everything. You've had a mix-in of some NBA guys, with Jarris Walker, with Quentin Grimes. And now, what the last 2 years? They brought in one guy in the portal that they needed. They brought in LJ Cryer from Baylor and Milos Uzan from Oklahoma, who fit in perfectly. And that's what you got to find the balance of in this era of college basketball. How can I build a real program with player development and great culture, but how can I capitalize on the fact that I can bring in a 22-year-old who can fit exactly into what we're trying to do?
Yeah, my argument to that is another team, Alabama, because I think Alabama, like to be able to have a Brandon Miller go top 2 in a draft, one and done, but also have a Sears go get a young blood who was a dog on his small. What school he came from?
USF or Kennesaw, then USF, then Alabama.
To go be Grant Nelsons of the world.
Why didn't he play much? Is he
was
injured?
Injured.
Okay.
Phylon, you know what I mean? Aiden Holloway from Auburn. What's my guy from Kansas? No, I'm sorry. Opposite. He went from Alabama to Kansas. Never mind. Yeah, I love everything that Alabama does. Same thing with Houston. You got to use the portal. You'll be a fool not to. Even if you don't want to, you have to because it's just too much talent. My guy from Iowa is in there now, man. I can't wait to see where he gonna go.
Freeman?
No. White guy, Knicks.
Oh, Dix. I didn't know that.
Dix,
so I
Dix.
actually mute the word portal on Twitter.
D-I-C-X.
I'm just expecting that to get clipped. That's all.
Dix. D-I-X.
What's his first name though?
Josh?
Josh Dix or something. It is with a J. Yeah, he can score the ball. I can't wait to see where he going. Jaleel Betha. Can't wait to see where he going. He should go to Florida. Leave Miami and go to Florida on a Matthew Cleveland type shit.
For real though, imagine if during the NBA playoffs you had to keep track of free agency. Like it's so annoying. I legitimately mute the words portal, transfer.
It's
With that
unfair
being said-
too because how the fucking Purdue recruit right now in
When
the
they're in
portal
the-
when they're playing.
They're playing right now.
Best thing to do is just win, and then people want to go there. But you got to have assistants, and some people keeping track with everything.
But you know the early guys are trying to get situated now. Like
There's guys who in January and February are already agreeing to their NIL deals for next year. I can tell you that for a fact. There's people, not even great players, are getting 6 figures in February to go play somewhere else.
yeah, it's the same thing with coaching. It's
That's pretty cool, though.
Under the table, backdoor. You saw the Vanderbilt freshman as soon as the game was over. They said he
Like 7 minutes later,
Yeah.
he was in the team.
Vanderbilt has a freshman guard. I forget
Tyler
his name.
Tanner?
I forget.
I'll look it up for
Because I'm
Nah.
a big fan of his.
What number is he?
3?
Nah.
Okay,
This dude
good.
is like number 1 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
7 minutes after.
I'm
them?
talking about didn't even change their uniform yet. Blah 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 is into the transfer portal. No bullshit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Vanderbilt freshman Karis Bilal
Yeah. Well, he don't play, so no one cares about him.
trying to go.
No, but
somewhere
that's
we
still
can.
crazy to
Yeah.
not take your uniform off. But like
No,
you said, he
100%.
knew already months ago that he was doing that.
Remember,
So
Michael Porter Jr.'s little brother, I forget his name. He was on
his name is
Pepperdine, and then
fuck. What is his name?
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe Javon.
It is
He might start
Javon
with a
Porter.
J.
But they got so many brothers. We could be talking about a different one. But Javon is one of them. No.
Jonte the
No,
one
not
that's.
Jonte's
Yeah,
in
he
jail.
gone.
Is he in jail?
Javon got in trouble too.
Yeah.
Is
I
he
think he
really
was-
in jail?
I don't know
Jonte
if
was
it's in
in
jail,
jail.
but I thought
It
they
was for a
did have
federal
like some
case.
criminal charges.
All of them have gotten in trouble besides Michael Porter Jr. And
I
the
know he
sisters.
got in trouble, but Jonte Porter jail.
Javon.
That's crazy.
I'm not.
No jail time.
I'm actually gonna back.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
he
gonna
actually-
backtrack. I don't feel like you can just put that on somebody's name.
Oh
like
wait, I'm sorry.
Javon got the DUI.
It says no jail time. He faces up to no jail time to 20 years. Prosecutors are estimated his sentence will be 3.5 years.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So he's not there yet, but
Yeah.
I didn't even know it got that deep.
Yeah,
but
no, it's. I thought he had got the sentence 3.5 years, but it seems like they're still
figuring
that's
it
the
out.
chance. That's what he probably can get.
Damn. Sheesh. But let's talk about the actual tournament. What was y'all favorite game? Because I know we all was locked in. to at least some of them.
Marquette, New Mexico.
That was a good one for sure. Yeah.
I had New Mexico. I got New Mexico, I think, beat Michigan State, so I was super glued in to that game.
Michigan State didn't impress me. I thought they would be impressive looking team.
I thought
That's why I got them losing in New Mexico.
I think yesterday. What team does Hubbard play for? I forgot.
Say it again.
Hubbard,
Mississippi State?
Mississippi State, and what was I forgot? I forgot the games. Mississippi State played.
Did they win?
No.
Ole Miss?
Baylor.
Baylor,
DJ
yeah,
Edgecombe.
Yes.
that game, because that was last few possessions where
Crazy.
Hubbard didn't take that shot at the
Yes.
end. That really grinded my gears
Yes.
because I'm just like, you got 26, 28 points. He passed it to the dude in the corner. The dude come off, do like a dribble handoff. I'm thinking Hubbard gonna get the ball back,
He probably thought he was getting the ball back, too.
and then dude just shot it. And I'm just like, bro, no way you don't think to just get him the ball back. He's the hottest man on the court.
That's who else is in the transfer portal. Devin Askew. Remember him?
Stop. He's not. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes,
He's been
he
here
is.
for like.
Yes,
It's
he
like
had.
Shay's class.
He got the.
That's
No bullshit. He got the
Shady MVP of
COVID
NBA.
year, and then he had a redshirt year when he went to
Al?
Long Beach or whatever.
God,
But yeah, he is a guy that's
gotta
gonna be like
go.
26 or 27.
get ready to learn LinkedIn.
He went from Kentucky
Get ready to
to
learn.
Texas to Long Beach,
to Cal.
Cal,
Where was he this year? I don't even know.
Long Beach State.
Okay, that was this year.
He put up 19 for 5 and 5.
Good for him.
High Point versus Purdue.
If I was 27, I would have probably put up High Point versus Purdue.
That was a good game. The score, it says 75-63, but that game was a lot closer than
It
that.
was.
And
Yeah.
High Point was right there, bro. They dead ass just could not rebound the ball. Like, they gave up double-digit offensive rebounds in the first half of their game, and it was like, as the underdog, that's the battle you got to win. Like, the hustle stuff, you can't get out-hustled and expect to win as the underdog.
I enjoyed UConn, Oklahoma. Jeremiah
Same.
Fears was putting on a show.
That was my first time watching him live.
And
So
I
that
got the
was
chance
fun.
to text Christian because he talking about he ain't going to go back to school.
No. That was the Oklahoma had a really tough stretch, and he wasn't playing that well, but he has been awesome the past few weeks. I am so high on him. He's incredible.
Second half
He's a
of
freshman. What?
How you go from going back to school to being high on him?
He was playing really poorly for a couple weeks, and then he totally turned it up the last few weeks. I thought he just kind of hit a freshman wall, and now I'm just like incredible. Why can't I change my opinion? I was wrong.
You could change your opinion, but when you go back and forth so much, anytime a 19-year-old, 18-year-old, 17-year-old kid have a stretch of bad games, you off of them?
I'm not off him. I was like, I saw something on Twitter that said he was maybe come back for a second year, and I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind that.
You still want him to go back?
I think he's better than Kasparis.
Hey,
I told you that.
I believe you now.
I
That's
thought the Illinois Final Illini looked good yesterday.
I didn't lock in for that one. I
Oh.
was
Fake fan.
I really enjoyed the Colorado
They ass
State.
weak, man.
I enjoyed Colorado
They'll
State
win
versus
next round, too.
Memphis.
You did because you was texting me about it. You said I'm gonna make a Nick Clifford build.
Yeah, and I mean I didn't even know.
He didn't even have like a really good game either.
But
can play
actually,
a lot
that's
better.
fine though, because I mean I think it's actually even more interesting if he didn't have a crazy game. But he's still one of the players I felt like I found interest in.
For sure,
you know,
yeah.
just the way his play style was. But
Any scares for y'all?
you said what?
Any scares where y'all looked at like, man, Omaha starting off crazy against St. John's?
Not really,
Brian,
but they
did you
did had a
say?
big body dude at Omaha that was getting buckets early. Big, heavy dude.
Auburn looked like they was going to be in trouble for a second.
They did.
Yeah, Alabama State, they was hustling at first, and then Auburn just put that shit to bed.
Christian, did you sweat about the Alabama game? You text me.
I mean, I didn't really
I
think they
told
were
him
going to
I
lose.
ain't sweating.
I mean,
He said,
Robert Morris played one of the best mid-major,
They was on point, man.
two halves we've seen.
North Carolina, UNC, they had a crazy second half.
That game was good,
They
man.
they really turned it up in that second half, and they was right there, bro.
That game was so good.
They were a few layups away from actually taking the lead. That's how crazy that was.
that Corbin Blue?
No, Corbin Blue is
Corbin Blue
in
is
his
older.
30s.
I know.
Hey, this gonna sound real random because they didn't make the turn like Texas lost.
Yeah.
Chendall Weaver, low-key would have been probably one of my favorite college players in the tournament.
I love that.
Chendall-
I love that,
Chendall
Mike.
Weevil.
He's great.
He played like Josh Hart, but he probably I don't know how tall. He might be like
okay.
6'2". He
Mike
might be
got-
like 6'2", 6'3", but he played like Josh Hart.
Did you write his name down?
No, I just looked it up.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember his last name. I didn't know his first name.
Mike been locked in.
He watched more
Nick
college basketball than NBA basketball this
see.
season.
Christian,
Crazy.
from here on out, what we looking for? What's big for you? Could we get some upsets, or is this gonna be a year where we just mild upsets?
So as we're recording, McNeese is getting absolutely worked. I think Colorado State has a chance against Maryland, but probably not. I think, man, I love me some Texas Tech, but the way Drake played, the fact that you could take one of the best offensive teams in the country in Mizzou and just make their lives hell and hold them to 57, I think they're going to give Texas Tech a shot. That's our only chance at really a true Cinderella in the Sweet
My
16.
one
But
one of my few upsets that actually panned out. Drake.
yeah,
Did you end up picking them, or did you go Mizzou?
in my main, I picked Mizzou. and
Ain't no
I
such
just-
thing as a main.
I know
man.
exactly. In my one, the one that I'm
you
counting as
brought
my
that
main.
up. You brought that up, by the
Exactly,
way.
and
He
I'm
brought
saying-
that up on T-Dog.
so
He
that's why I'm
said-
saying I'm not gonna
he
take
said
credit
his
for
most-
Drake.
His most irritating thing is when you talk to somebody and they say, "Oh, I had that in my other."
But no,
bracket."
last episode we asked him about it. He said he'll make a few, but he'll only count one.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's what I just did. I said I'm not taking Drake.
But you
credit.
said something about your main. You only got one main.
exactly my main.
Yeah, he's
He
in
on his alt account,
yeah,
Brian.
he's in his main account. He didn't pick
He's
him.
Smurf.
There is only one account, is what I'm saying. There is no my main when we have that discussion that he made. He brought that up, and I agree with him too.
Yeah.
Because you got 5 brackets, and of course you had every fucking pick because you did the opposite on that bracket than you did in the other one. But how was you matching up Mizzou versus Texas Tech? So Texas Tech you got going to where?
Losing to St. John's, but I think Arkansas. See, this is where we can get
Yes.
the sneaky here's the team that could make a run. It could be who could
Arkansas?
like get into a random Elite Eight. It could be an Arkansas. It could be a UCLA. It could be an Illinois. It could be a Gonzaga. Like there's still chance for an interesting run to happen.
So how big of a chance do you got Gonzaga against Houston?
They're 5.5-point dogs. I mean, they're always good they've made 9 straight Sweet 16s, and Houston is so good defensively. I think it's going to be a lot about
Who you got
Gonzaga.
winning?
I lean Houston, man, but Gonzaga is so dangerous.
What's your
especially
bracket say?
Let's root for the
I got Houston in
underdog.
my Final Four.
Let's root for the underdog.
I'm rooting for
Gonzaga
them
ain't no
hard.
damn
Gonzaga's
underdog.
Gonzaga's 8th on KenPom. Like it's crazy
Oh,
that this
I didn't know
game
that.
is like they're just so good. They just lost a few games. Like their resume building opportunities early in the season, they would lose by like 4 points. But man,
Did they
looked
win
like
their
one of the best teams
conference?
in the country. And
They're gonna win their conference every year.
Oh, okay,
Didn't they win their conference?
They won the tournament, but St. Mary's won the regular season.
that's what I was thinking. Okay. I mean,
Speaking of, that's one of the most interesting matchups we got tomorrow.
St. Mary's,
St. Mary's
Alabama?
is the 4th slowest team in the country, and Alabama's the fastest team in the country.
Yep.
I like when two contradicting styles clash.
What about-
I'll tell you this right now. That game ain't about to be slow. You can't slow down the fastest team in the nation. You cannot. They play in the SEC. It ain't like they're the fastest team in some small conference and they running it. No, they play against everybody. And Nate Oates made the schedule even harder from the non-conference games. So they're going to play their style. Nobody stops them from playing how they want to play. Now, can they speed them up, or will they be stubborn and say, "Hey, y'all play fast all y'all want. We're going to play our." That's what we will see.
what about the coaching matchup that everybody's looking forward to?
Cal Patina?
Yeah.
Man, we got coaching, just insane coaching matchups all over the board. That's kind of the pro to, there being less upsets. But Cal Patino, Arkansas St. John's, I mean, this one could be really interesting. Arkansas has definitely been playing better basketball lately. Boogie Flan came in, hadn't played in months, and looked pretty comfortable out there, and Cal was riding him. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
We letting that through. We're going to let it sleep through the cracks.
Yep.
Cal was riding him. It's just going to go. We ain't going to address it.
You're a guest here, so it's fine.
Shout out Boogie Flynn.
You like Boogie Flan?
I do.
Feels on brand.
That's going to be a good game, man. I don't know who. I want St. John's to win, but I feel it in my bones that Arkansas gonna find a way, man. I feel it in my bones. St. John's, that 3-point shooting, I don't know, but I want them to win though. I want them to win. Yeah, you know what I mean? They the 2 seed. They had such a great year. Imagine just losing to an up and down Arkansas team.
Yeah.
But that would be a good story for Coach Kyle, a guy who's normally had the opposite, where he come in, high expectation, great regular season, and then they going to fall first round. That's why I picked against their ass. I thought Kansas was more experienced and was going to get the shit done, but they beat a good Kansas team. Now I think they can beat a good St. John's team, and they got the size. The guy from y'all team, and y'all Illinois fans, right?
Yep, yes, I am.
His brother is on Arkansas.
We also part of the St. John's fan club too,
Why? That feels random.
because we just got a text.
Oh, that's crazy.
What the text is?
Just look at your phone. But yeah, we part of the St. John's fan club too.
Now Illinois is winning next round too, so that's fun.
He,
16,
St.
baby,
John's.
here we come.
He must got it in his bracket. He ain't go to St. John's. He's a Cali guy. He ain't go to St. John's. Oregon handled business. All that Liberty talk, they shut that up.
I didn't know Liberty was such a conservative school. And I don't mean like politically. I just mean like they can't do anything.
They can't do anything.
Like you get
For real?
fined if you
Huge.
dance.
For real?
Yeah,
What?
I didn't know this either. Why?
Yeah,
What's
I
going
don't-
on?
I have
Where's
no
it at?
idea. I have no idea.
The players?
Virginia?
No,
Where?
the people in school.
What?
If you get caught dancing, you can't hold hands, you can't hug somebody. They just
BYU all over again.
worse.
No dancing is
Hey,
crazy.
BYU
No,
surprised me,
don't you
Christian.
dare. And you know they call it the big
They
dance.
hooped.
That's why they lost.
How much is the fine?
Oh, I don't know.
They lost bad too.
First of all, fining college students is insane because they're already a lot of them are already like
College students,
Yeah,
yeah.
they already not making a lot of money, and you gonna fine them? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of them are already on like a
It's in
strict
their
budget.
student
That's
honor code.
That don't even make sense.
Don't you dare boogie down.
So what do they do at the school dance?
They got dress and hair codes.
They don't have no school dances.
No horseplay. You can't push Darrick.
horseplay.
You can't push Darrick just for the fun of it because y'all boys. Don't you dare horseplay.
That's
just a bunch
actually
of
crazy.
robots.
Yeah, they got different point systems though. Let's see. The number worst thing you can do, they get you 30 points, which is a $500 fine and 30 hours of disciplinary. Oh my, I'm not even gonna say some of the stuff. I mean, yeah, sexual assault. Actually, you should be fined more for that. You should go to real jail. What do you mean 30? Some of this stuff is crazy.
You should be kicked out of the school.
Oh, don't you dare possess or consume alcohol because that is a 30-pointer. Don't you dare be involved in witchcraft. That is a 30-pointer. Don't you dare spend a night with a person of the opposite sex. 30-pointer.
What? That's actually
All
insane.
those with 30 points?
What the hell is immortality? Don't you dare become invincible. Don't you dare.
So you're saying I can't drink a beer with a girl and do some witchcraft?
Hey, man.
What is that, 100
That's
points?
60 points.
Hey, they might have you on a string, bro.
Hey, bro.
It might be over with for you.
Shit sound like
How
rules
do they
from-
find head coaches? How could you ever recruit?
I have no idea.
How could you
man.
recruit?
How do you police the gender thing? You can't spend a night with someone of the opposite. How do you police that?
By putting it in there. Hey, you can't do that.
But how do you know who's in those dorms?
Because every door.
I mean, you're not
has
going to catch her, but somebody going to get caught and they going to
No, you
enforce
have
that.
a
Cameras?
no.
What's it called? The
the
housing dude?
Yeah, so you have
Yeah.
a person.
I forget
that
what it's
controls the
called.
Oh.
house. RA or something.
All right,
yeah.
Man, this is this is insane.
Man, you better slide that RA slide that RA a few
Or
dollars.
just don't go to that university.
Yeah, or yeah.
If you want
Boycott
to
it.
live life like a normal college student, go somewhere else.
Yeah, I guess
Go
the
down
people
the street.
the people who go there probably enjoy that lifestyle.
Yeah, and that's them.
Unless that's the only school that's just giving them an
Not
offer,
doing
and then you just
nothing.
kind of have to go.
Not even having a chance to do something because you're going to get penalized.
Don't you steal? That's fair.
I'm guessing weed them niggas you expelled probably too.
I think that might be under.
The moral
30
shit
point
and
one.
just
The
like
30
the
pointer.
straight up, the legal stuff, I get. But not being able to hold hands is insane.
Yeah.
That's not even like showing anything. Like that's
I can have
literally just like a
hold
display.
your daughter hand.
Yeah, that's just like a display of affection.
They don't have. Don't you? Okay, some of these are like no racial discrimination. Cool.
But how many points is that?
18.
Oh,
They
That's
drifted
crazy.
from intervals of 10
That's crazy.
for discrimination.
You know,
why wouldn't that be in the 30-point one?
It's like the
Exactly.
racism was only 1 point.
Like it's bad.
Actually, we're taking a point away.
It's bad, but you better not have nobody in that room. You better not spend the
You
night
can't
with them.
even go into the opposite room, the room of an opposite sex. You can't do study with your lab partner that happens to be a woman. That's an 18-pointer.
Do it at the library.
You have to.
So
do
I
it in
wouldn't be.
public.
So you like, your sister went to Western, and I used to go out there. I couldn't even spend a night
No,
in her dorm.
you cannot attend an R-rated movie. That's 12 points. You can't cheat on the quiz. That's 12 points. You can't gamble. That's 6 points.
I
You can't attend a dance. That's 6
Sorry
points.
for who feel offended. That school sucks.
Policing gambling is actually extremely hard.
It really is.
How the hell do you know what I'm doing?
Music code violation.
With that being said, Liberty.
How the hell do you know what I'm doing?
Liberty,
My
if you-
spirits have
if
my
you-
name.
If you want to change our mind, Liberty, send us a package of hoodies and shit.
I'm not wearing that shit.
I'm aware. Who sponsored them? Is it Nike?
That's a good question. Let me see. Liberty basketball. Just uniforms, right? It'll have a
Yeah.
patch on it. They're a Nike school.
Yeah, I'll take a little Nike hoodie.
Just don't do it. Is a listen.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Is there anything else, Christian, from your side with this March Madness? Would you
won.
the first 2 days? What would you grade it? A through F.
C.
C.
Why
I
C?
think the rest of the tournament is going to be great, but you'd like to see one of these 14s or 15. I mean, we've gotten so many great moments over the past years that it's difficult when we don't get anything crazy. Like the 3 upsets we had, all those teams were in the tournament last year. Like, it's not. I don't know. There hasn't been a great story. Like Drake winning another game would be a great story and give us something to talk about for the rest of the week. Even like in Arkansas or a UConn or Gonzaga, any of these like, lower of these mid-major teams kind of surprising people. A St. Mary's would be a good story. But I think the exciting part about less upsets is we just have absolutely loaded matchups the next 2 days. It's going to be fantastic. A couple that I'm eyeing. I forgot to say this about the Arkansas St. John's game. Jonas Adu. I was never a big fan of him at Tennessee.
Same.
He was a little injured at the beginning of the season, but he's been awesome. He was hitting that floater shot, and he was defending really
Mid-range
well.
shot.
I think an interesting matchup in that one is R.J. Lewis, Kadari Richmond, Davon Smith. Arkansas's backcourt of Wagner, Davis. They've been playing better defense, but I think those guys can be able to get to their spots. I think it's going to be a really close game.
I like Davis.
You like Davis?
Yeah, he's good.
And
Chanel
then,
Davis. He was on the team that went on a run last year with Dusty May.
Oh.
Same thing with
Kentucky.
Golden.
Yeah. Illinois, Kentucky is going to be a super fast-paced game with a bunch of scoring. That should be a lot of fun. Same with BYU, Wisconsin. Those are two great offenses.
I got Wisconsin.
And Oregon, Arizona, those are teams that have been rivals in the Pac-12 for years. They're
Yep.
playing in the second round.
That's
And then
I love shit like that.
I love A&M's chances to beat Michigan today.
Who's number 11
Where?
on
Yeah.
McNeese?
Oh, that's Copeland.
Okay.
It's Chris Copeland, little brother.
I thought that when I seen because I've seen him playing in Gauchos before.
Is he a big?
No, he's a guard.
Oh, he looks big though.
He's a big guard.
Oh,
That definitely happens. I like that we're seeing more the different masks. There was one kid that had like a Bane mask on yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he
I
did.
thought that was pretty cool.
So
Well,
here's
the
my
kid that said he broke his nose.
Yeah,
instead of having
facial fracture.
surgery. Yeah.
my conflicting standpoint, Christian, on a day like the first round. I pick upsets in my bracket because I've been watching the tournament for 20 plus years now. I know what's going to happen. My one thing about an upset is nothing like an underdog. But what happens is you have these teams upset these teams because they catch them on a really bad day or they throw something at them one time and they throw them off. And then they'll go and advance. And then we'll get to the main stage, the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, and those teams get their ass crushed by a Florida, a Alabama, a Duke. And it's like, damn. We're in the last stages. I don't want to see a 25-point win. I don't want to see a dominant game where there's no chance that this team can win. So as much as I like the upsets and the underdog, and I wanted to see something happen, obviously, when you again, who doesn't love an underdog? But if we're going to get some really good teams playing against each other, I think it's going to make for a good Sweet 16, Elite 8, and then eventually a Final Four to where it ain't nothing too crazy. And I'm not saying every Cinderella got their ass smashed in the late rounds, but ultimately you see a big difference in a Florida. You know, imagine if a Florida went and they played a McNeese.
Yeah. I was
Florida
gonna say
would fucking
how
smash
often
McNeese. Like Purdue is doing.
when y'all, because y'all obviously just been watching so much longer, but like when you see an upset happen, how often would you say is it more so like the team just shit the bed or the better team just shit the bed versus like the underdog came out and they actually showed that like we could be one of these top teams?
Now, last year, Dusty May and Golden and John, they were just and Martin from Florida. They, to me, Christian, I don't feel like they got hot. I thought that they was a really good team.
I mean, they won
What
30
team is that?
games that year.
That's FAU, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they won like 30 games. They were
And a lot
really
of the
good.
transfers are really good now in the
Exactly.
tournament, right?
Every
Yeah.
single one made the tournament. Nick Boyd was on San Diego State who lost. But
Jonell is still in.
Donnell,
with-
Vlad on Michigan, and Elijah, Florida.
for Florida, yep.
Yeah,
So-
to answer your question, Mike, like, I mean, let's talk about last year. Oakland couldn't have played a better game against
They
Kentucky.
got hot, yeah.
But the next game they sent NC State to overtime. Like they
That's
were
true.
real.
But NC State themselves wasn't. They were a quote unquote underdog team too with DJ Burns and
DJ Horn.
DJ Horn from Arizona State and whatnot. So like that be my biggest thing is like you want the upsets, but then again, like even today, I don't really want to tune in. Like at home, I would have this on. I'm not turning off these games, but I don't want to see 43-25. I don't want to see that shit now. I don't want to see it in the Elite Eight. I just don't want to see it. And it's not to say that a higher seed can't get their ass kicked either. But like I prefer St. John's, Arkansas. St. John's is ranked low, but they come from a Power 5 conference. They have John Calipari. They have McDonald All-American players on their roster. They can match up with a St. John's, even though they're a lower seed, versus it being
that Duke game got ugly fast.
ugly fast.
Like it wasn't even like so fast. Like it didn't. You was out of it within the next 6 minutes.
Guess how many seconds I watched?
Probably 6.
0. Didn't even turn it on. Top of the screen. Same thing with Oregon. 15-0 or some shit. 15-2. Not even watching.
Yeah. It got so I had it on just to see Cooper Flag, but then I was like, this shit.
Christian funny. Did y'all see Christian tweet? He put the shirt over the top of the screen so it cut off the scores.
Yeah, I seen that.
Because they'll definitely tell you. I had 2 games on, and it told me that a team made a 3 before. It was the Alabama versus Robert Morris, and it told me Robert Morris just shot 3 while I'm watching the current game and it's behind, but I'm looking at the other TV that's showing me they made a 3. So I'm like, oh my gosh.
Somebody commented, just don't look at it. And I'm like, bro, not all of us
That's
are that
not the way it
talented.
works. Like the same thing is with subtitles. If
Yeah.
subtitles are on, your eyes are going to focus towards
Yeah.
subtitles.
Yeah.
Same thing up there. That thing it's changing every second.
Yeah.
Your eyes is immediately going to go up to it. Like now I know that Gonzaga and Houston play
At 8:40,
at 8:40 Eastern time.
which is what 7.
7:40 our
40
time.
for us?
Yeah.
Biggest thing today. Any underdog today for you?
He said Michigan losing, right?
Yeah, A&M's favorite. I guess from an underdog perspective, man, Creighton looked really good in their first round game, and Auburn's been a little up and down. I think Auburn's just so athletic in the backcourt. If they are disciplined, they should roll their 10-point favorites. I think Gonzaga Houston is just going to be extremely high level, and Drake has a real shot at Texas Tech, and Arkansas has a real shot at St. John's, and UCLA has a real shot at Tennessee. I like UCLA a lot. That's Mike's team too.
I like I think I had UCLA going on a run based off the conversations that we had, me, you, Ryan. I really do. But I am mad because I feel like me, you, and Ryan had a conversation. I picked some other shit, and I was like, I should have just followed my fucking gut. I should have followed my gut, man. I had the Clemson. We started talking about Clemson, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm with Clemson, baby. They was there last year. Christian was reminding me all that shit, and I fucking...
And they scored 13 points in the first half.
13 fucking
How do you
points,
score
man.
13? And they only lost by 2, which is insane. But 13 points is crazy. 13 points.
Wanting to make all them damn threes at the end. No, do it at the beginning, man.
All right. We appreciate y'all watching or listening to this episode of Numbers on the Board. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe. We just dropped the newest episode of Teed Up with Pierre, and that was the college basketball episode if you missed it. And we just dropped the episode of Small Ball. We kind of broke down the Bucks and the Warriors. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace.
Peace.